Novel Chronicles is a tabletop web series combining improvised storytelling and acting, structured using the rules of a role-playing game. There are 4 players who each represent a character in a group of adventurers. And there is one game master who plays everyone else in the world the characters encounter. Because it's a game, there are a lot of dice rolls. Typically, lower numbers are bad, and higher numbers are good. We use our imaginations and props, miniature terrain, and vivid performances by our 5 actors. And our story is set in the alternative fantasy world of ben-tir. This is Novel Chronicles. Welcome to Novel Chronicles, Episode 2. I am the Game Master, Timothy Reese. I just want to say hello. We are very excited to have you here. And with that, I would like to introduce, once again, our cast of characters. We have Bill Crowe.
Hello.
Danielle Beckmann.
Thanks for watching.
Mark David Christenson.
Howdy.
And Victoria Rani.
Sup?
And where we're coming in for this episode, to catch everyone up, the party were hired by the diminutive Rupert Sumo to pursue an artifact called the Face of Harthak in the possession of an individual named Edgar Latch. The party caught up to Latch on the seas, and he summoned a massive spectral entity with 4 arms, 80 feet high, made of malice and rage, who smashed their vessel and sent them to the depths. They awoke on a small, cinder cone-like volcanic island, missing all their possessions, and to recover them as part of a deal with the enormous birds who stole their things, agreed to gather sticks for their large nest. This is really crazy, repeating the story backwards. A lot happened in one episode. Mm-hmm. We return to the party, being dropped into the cold ocean once more, atop the derelict wrecks hidden below the waves. 20 feet down below surface, 2 large galleons, locked in a final embrace from some past battle, are sitting on the crested edge of a sea cliff. Their rotted, ruined planking a tomb to whatever their conflict was, that neither vessel survived. The stars are now out in full force overhead, the beautiful blues, golds, greens, and reds of bright nebulas in stark contrast to the chill and the black of the ocean as you bob along freezing in the water. The 3 mottled Thevises who carried you here are circling overhead as they await the promised trade, sticks for your possessions. Now all 4 of you are doggedly keeping your heads above water as a light evening mist begins to settle upon the surface. The wrecks are barely visible looking down, like shadows through a frosted window. But the 2 moons are now coming overhead. There's enough light to fumble around.
I'm fumbling.
It's freezing.
Do I see them all? Am I near Ashvin?
They dropped you all in the same spot.
Ashvin, can you talk to animals again? Scream at them, tell them to let us in go.
I think I'm out.
Oh, gosh.
There's nothing I can do here.
I should have drank that elixir.
We gotta stop complaining and figure out how we're gonna get some of that wood up to them so we can get our belongings back.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Was this our ship?
I don't.
No, I don't think so. It doesn't look like it.
Can any of you dive? I'm not so good at swimming.
I'll try a dive down.
All right.
I'm gonna try to dive down
Right.
to see how farthest I can get.
It's 20 feet down to the top of the first one. Their masts are long gone. And as you plunge below the water, fish immediately swarming out of the way as you begin to swim towards the 2 wrecks. You can see they're 2 large vessels, much larger than the Pummelbub or the Severe. They are also both very broken ships. And looking at them, it's probably 50 to 60 feet to the actual bottom of the sea cliff, where you're going to hit the bottom before it ventures off into solid darkness.
Okay.
But it's only 20 feet down to get to the top of the decking. Whenever they very likely either ran aground or wrecked just in a light shallow.
Okay, wait.
He's already gone. Yeah, he's swimming down.
Hecate's just like, all right, I'm out.
As you swim down, you find yourself at the decking and looking at what is the nearest ship to you. Looks like it was the better off of the two, if that is possibly a thing to ascertain. Right. Looking at it, the ship itself has two major compartments. Both ships look to be the same type, possibly the same make. But looking at it, you can see that there appears to be a forward cabin, which we'll call the forecastle, the forward castle. And there also is a much larger aft cabin, an aft castle, than there was on the previous ship.
Is any part of the ship sticking out of the water?
None of it.
They're both submerged.
They're both fully submerged.
Okay.
And looking, you can see that they're caught up enough that the prows of both ships essentially rammed into one another. Mm-hmm. The ship that you're currently on looks more or less intact as far as looking like a ship. The other one is a shambles, where it looks like the entire middle section is missing. The aft castle on that ship has actually flipped 90 degrees to where it's resting entirely on the seabed, where the only thing you can really access without going through a window on the aft castle is the decking of the forecastle. But otherwise, it's just two ships.
While they dive down, I'm going to pull out one of these small rocks I have in my very wet fathom satchel, and I'm going to just, through my magical tinkering, create a 5-foot radius of light, and kind of start
that's right.
to
You can
follow.
do that. That's handy.
Start to follow.
I'm still with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, come on.
And as I spin the rock in my hands, a 5-foot radius of light, maybe we'll be able to see better.
Oh, that's bright.
I
Yeah,
know.
that'll work.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my goggles help. Let's go.
And
Do you want to dive?
Let's go.
Let's go.
So holding your
take a
breath.
deep breath.
What are you doing?
Hecate has dove underneath the water, realized he cannot see in the dark, and then
Well,
can't see.
well, it isn't entirely pitch black because remember the night sky in ben-tir
yes.
is not completely debilitating.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that really helps to be able to
also
distinguish
have
colors
goggles,
and to be able to see. But as far as you can still see the ships even though it's night
Okay.
because the night sky is very bright.
All right,
And
so I don't need them, right?
well, you need it to see color or to distinguish detail,
Yeah.
but you're not completely in darkness.
Got it.
So what
My
I was
instinct
saying.
would be to swim toward the one in shambles because that would create more sticks.
So this actually brings us to a great point. We can go to the table.
Oh no, it's so soon. We're 5 minutes in.
We
Peeking into the dark void. Ooh.
Cool.
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa.
So
Yeah, okay.
I would like to know, currently, Iwin, you've made it to the deck here. You're essentially here. Where would the rest of you like to go?
Shambles ship.
Shambles. So we
Feist,
have
yeah.
Greta towards Shambles. And likewise, where would you like to go?
I'm
Ashvin?
with her. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with Iwin then.
Okay, so the two of you, as you're separated here, the amount of time you can breathe is 1 minute plus your Constitution modifier. That whatever
Are
point
those
that is.
seconds?
Those are minutes.
Holding your breath for 5 minutes.
So we'll begin with
in
you,
your head.
Iwin, and with you, Hecate, with the ship you landed on. The ship you landed on right now is roughly split in half. Similarly, it looks like from your position there is a hatch that leads down into some decking section, but we can treat this as the seafloor.
Okay.
So imagine that there is decking, but essentially it's fully in silt that you can see.
Oh. Okay.
So there's likely a space, if you were to pass below the decking you're standing on, that's maybe 6 to 8 feet. That would possibly be one level of the ship that is still accessible were you to drop through a hatch. And likewise, you have the aft castle and you have the forecastle, both of these rooms. For the two of you, just to orient yourselves before we go back to Iwin and Hecate, it's a very similar construction of the two vessels. You're currently standing on the forecastle. This has a hatch that you can pass into, as well as there's also of what remains. There's a very small section here that looks like you could possibly lift a hatch to look into, as well as this aft castle, which as it is flipped over on its side, and it appears the only accessible entrance is through the windows.
2 hatches, like one on this
There's
side.
one hatch that pops down into maybe
Okay.
what remains of the decking below. And then there's also a hatch here
Okay.
that allows you to pass into the forecastle, the foxhole.
Okay. So how many seconds?
Which is a
have
strange
we-
word because it has 2 apostrophes in it.
What does?
Yeah, foxhole.
That's
It's
weird.
FO'C apostrophe SLE. That's fun.
Fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact.
Learn something new every day.
How many seconds have we been underwater?
10 seconds.
Okay.
So I'll alert you before you. Who has the least amount of breathing time?
Guess it would be me.
What's your con mod?
What's your
Wait.
con modifier?
2.
2. So you can hold your breath for 3 minutes.
I have 3 minutes
Yeah.
as
So
well.
they'll go 3.
Okay.
So I will give you a warning as you're approaching 1 minute.
Okay.
That way you can make a decision.
Okay, the minute that I see any sort of sticks or wood, I am shoving them in my very wet fathom satchel.
Okay. So as you begin, well, first let's go to Iwin and Hecate.
Yeah.
So we'll divide this up between like
FYI.
rounds. So it'll be the 2 of you and then the 2 of you.
Got it. So it looks like the ship is cracked in half. So you'd be able to swim into the lower decks from.
Yeah.
The-
The one lower deck.
The one
The
lower
rest
deck.
of it's essentially embedded in silt.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Got it.
But so you can treat this right here, literally treat the miniature as a kind of visual aid of cannon. This is really all that's accessible.
Okay. So I'll.
By visual. There might be a compartment.
Right.
It's something you're not able to ascertain.
Hecate's got a dagger out and is going to try and see if he can find any pieces, and if there's any like loose pieces, he'll try to cut them off and like saw it.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to do is swim or like head down and try to see what's loose off these.
As
That's
you're
all of that.
as the 2 of you essentially begin pulling at the decking, trying to dislodge things, you find the wood is, first of all, it's very slippery. Also, it looks like sea life has made quite a bit of a home here as you begin to try to leverage yourself across things that are small barnacles or coral that's beginning to form in the midst of the wreck. Occasionally, you see an eel dart out from the boards, which leads both of you to sort of in shock as you pull back before realizing it's finding another hidey hole to get away from you. But as you're pulling on the decking, you free a few splinters, but nothing really that's giving you much optimism with the method you're trying of just pulling up on the decks. And even using your dagger to attempt to saw through it, it appears that whatever's left here on this level on the decking is held in place by whatever it was originally manufactured with. As the 2 of you are working on that, we go to Ashvin and Greta.
We have the light, so we can see a lot.
You can.
I want to gesture toward the trap door.
Ashvin's gonna pull out.
She got it.
We're like this.
Totally got it.
Yeah, they got exactly what I meant.
They're gonna pull out a crowbar
Okay.
that's in their bag and start to jam it in the whatever space there might be
For
in
the
that,
hatch?
in that hatch.
In the
Yeah,
hatch?
to try and flip it open.
As you stick the crowbar in, immediately wood begins to essentially splinter and disintegrate upon impact with the crowbar. And as you leverage, you watch as there's just a light pop before the lock floats away from the top of the hatch and begins to drift away from the door. And opening it as you peer inside with the small glowing rock, you can see that the interior of the space looks fully wrecked. It almost looks like a series of crossed spars and beams that you would find under a trestle bridge, as the entire interior space has caved inward. It's possible you could try to navigate inside of it, but it looks like it would be perilous.
Okay.
It's a very small space.
Is anything?
This ship in particular looks like it's bellied into itself.
What's the wood like?
Mostly waterlogged and stuck in place, buried into the silt.
Ugh. Okay,
waste.
I want to swim over to the aft.
There's also, just for
Oh,
reminders,
okay.
there also is a hatch here
Yeah.
into the foxhole. So you've peered through this hatch downward.
Oh,
There's also a foxhole here.
okay. Let's try the other one.
So as the 2 of you go to do that, we go back to Iwin and Hecate. Not finding much purchase, just trying to pull
Yeah,
up the
it
deck.
doesn't look like we're
Both
having a-
very frustrated.
Yeah.
I think I point to our
Yeah.
hatch and say, and just be like,
You get a nod from Hecate.
Is this one right here?
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm all,
So, as you begin swimming over towards the aft castle door, you can see that inscribed over it there's quite a bit of sea moss and kelp that's beginning to grow off of the back of the wall that essentially makes up the aft castle, and it's currently obscuring a small sign. But running your hand across it, you can see that it appears that the name of this ship was the Early Dawn.
Ooh, I like that.
But as you push away the kelp and begin to rattle the handle on the door, it's fairly lodged in place. If there were any kind of mechanism that's holding it shut, it's likely rusted to the point where it's now fully swollen into the door. If you would like to proceed, I need you both to make an athletics check.
Yeah. Hecate would like to try maybe to get some leverage and jam a dagger into like the side of the door and then kick it. See if we can like wrench it open.
and I'm just gonna try to use my little tiny body to help him with that.
So we'll go with an advantage with you helping him with the dagger.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
How are you helping? I would like to. In what manner are you
I
attempting
think
to?
I'm waiting for him to once. I'm just gonna use my force when he pushes.
Okay, gotcha.
Probably have better athletics than I do.
All right, go for it.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Was a 4 or a natural 20?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's not a full disaster, but as you very quickly pop the lock, which wrenches in place and then tears out the side of the paneling, you watch as the door, now free, begins to float to the surface.
oh yeah.
Because wood floats.
Yeah.
And as it drifts up, you realize one stick accounted for, at least, as you're now looking into an interior compartment. First thing you see looking into it are barrels, which are floating up towards the top of the ceiling. Seeing them bobbing along, there's maybe 20 or 30 barrels in this room. Whatever it was holding, whyever they're in there, lost to time. But they're close enough that it's difficult to even make any visual of the back wall. You can see that there's quite a few destroyed possessions which have rotted away. There are fish that are very easily swimming in between the planking as they've now are disturbed by the sudden intrusion in their space, especially in the night. But looking through it, it's very dim. It's difficult to make out anything besides the barrels that are in front of you and what must be over 24 of them as they float through the room.
I'm going to need you to take point here. I cannot see in the dark.
I can't see. In the
Oh,
dark
wait.
either.
None of us can.
No.
Except for you. Do you even
It's in
have
my
your
goggles.
But also, do you have your goggles back? Did you get them out of the
We
mess?
got everything,
Yeah, we got
remember?
everything.
Did we get everything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm wearing my goggles
Except for
and
the
I have a
glaive.
light, so I can see really well right
The glaive got dropped.
Yes. I think I just want to try to get the one closest to me and try to maneuver it out and pop it up.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
It's easy to grab hold of as you put your arms around it, dragging it out of the space. You can see that the first one you're pulling out is quite large. It has symbols on it that would seem to indicate there's no writing. The writing's lost, but you can see charred into it symbols which would indicate it maybe originally held meats or some kind of salt pork, some kind of food rations. But any kind of labeling or paint is rotted. But as you pull it out, navigating it through the door as it fits, it's easy to move around. You can see that directly behind it is a much smaller barrel, maybe 3 or 4 of them that are currently floating. They look like they would maybe only hold a couple pints, but they stand out for being much smaller than the rest. The rest of them are quite large, whereas the one you're handling is large, but these other smaller ones are left behind as you're making your way out of the space. And releasing it, it floats to the surface.
As he's doing that, could Hecate try
As you're watching above, releasing the barrel, you see it suddenly pulled out of the water.
Of course. As Iwin is doing that, could Hecate try and grab like 1 or 2 of the smaller barrels?
Yeah, just reaching through. They're easy to grab.
Oh, yeah.
Reaching through and snatching it out of it. Looking at it very clearly is a small indication of flame, and it looks like it's been sealed in wax.
Oh. So these might be...
Best accounting, it's lamp oil.
Oh.
It's about a pint of lamp oil.
Might be handy.
And we go back to Greta and Ashvin.
I don't wait for Ashvin to do anything here. I just take out my hand axe and I start smacking.
All right, make an attack roll against the door.
Oh, great. Wow. Was that a roll?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You can, yeah.
That was bizarre. A natural 20.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. So
Like a true burglar.
So 23.
Yeah, like a true burglar, you quickly hack through both latches. I'm sorry, the latch and both hinges.
Okay.
Before kicking the door in at the corner as it immediately darts her towards the surface.
The door.
And looking into the interior space, you immediately see a skeletal face floating directly in front of you. I need you to make a Constitution save.
Oh, I see.
Oh no. This isn't a dead skeleton.
Well, it might be. It might just be.
21.
21. It's enough to hold the air in. But looking at it, as you settle yourself, it is an individual long dead and a set of chainmail. And looking, you can see that the skeleton is partly weighted to the floor. And peering in with your goggles with the small stone, I'm assuming you're looking over her shoulder.
Yeah.
You can see that there's maybe 15 to 20 soldiers who likely drowned whenever the ship ran aground or sank in their armor. Looking, you can see that their weapons are fully rotted away. The shields are disintegrated. Their only thing left really is the stitching and the padding and what's remains of their ringmail as they're currently locked into this room as a tomb.
Blum, blum, blum. Ashvin! Close the door! Close the door! We don't want them!
Ashvin takes her hands and puts them down as if for her to save air, but she doesn't. But then she decides it's probably a bad idea. She's gonna make her panic anyway. I think she's gonna sort of move Greta away a little bit and take a look in there and grab the rock.
Okay.
Just to take a look, a closer look, and she's going to focus again, kind of taking the energy from the even though it's above the surface of the water from the night sky, and just suck in a little bit of water just to taste it.
Just a taste.
And use her awareness of.
As you taken the smallest
Yes.
taste of briny water, sensing any kind of magical incantation or trap or emanation that's in the space. It's nothing. It's as dead as the soldiers.
Spits it back out.
Well said.
They appear to be just dead soldiers.
Okay.
They're arrayed in ranks, and there's a sadness to it, as if they were awaiting orders when the water rushed into the compartment.
Is there something nearby to put on top of the door? Now, I mean, there's no door, but the trap doorway.
The only thing you can see in the space is that's near you to possibly cover the door.
Yeah.
Is the only thing that's currently free floating in the space, or even in it that's not one of them, is a destroyed table, which looks like it's fallen completely to pieces, as well as a floating oilcloth sack, which is currently bobbing against the ceiling like a balloon.
Okay. So sorry, just to be clear, these are not undead creatures. These are skeletons.
Correct.
Okay.
They're just dead.
They could be sticks.
They're dead. Do bones float? I thought it was actually like an undead creature.
Yeah.
So now that I'm looking next to you, kind of looking down, that first skeleton that popped up at me, I just want to grab it by the neck and see if it'll float.
As you grab hold of the individual by the neck and pull, a few bones come out directly of the armor, as well as the head just rolls off the back, clattering against the floor. You're currently holding a bit of spine. As the armor begins to slump closer to the floor.
Does the armor look nice?
No.
Oh.
The armor's weighting them down. They're weighted on the floor. They're almost in a half sat
And
position.
in water, I say, I tried.
And that's you're really coming up to the end of your air with this.
Okay.
But that'll be on the next round. You can go for the surface. But and there is also that small sack which is floating against the ceiling, just in case that was missed. But
is it? How close is it?
It's very
how
close.
How close is the sack?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Ashvin would grab it and just open it.
as you
See what's in there.
grabbing it to pull it open, there's immediately a blast of air. It's quite stale. Comes out of it. It was actually sealed, and inside of it is a very freshly preserved grappling hook. There's no line attached to it, but it glimmers in the bits of light that are managing to come through the ruined decking above.
Take that.
Recovering that.
Um,
Then we're going to go to
Yeah.
Hecate and Iwin. You're coming up in the end of your air. So
Yeah.
after this
I
round,
wanna-
you'll want to make some sort of break for the surface, or after this round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking I push, if I can do this in this round, I don't know how much I can do. Push another big barrel out,
All right.
and then a second one and ride it up.
That's really
That's
smart.
what I wanna do.
All right. So as you quickly pull 2 more barrels out and begin floating them towards the surface, pushing them up ahead of you, as they begin going, the next one you pull out looks like it was possibly holding fruit. Can't really tell. It's a strange symbol that's carved into the side. But the second one that you grabbing it around the middle of it, you begin to rise up, floating through. As you break through the surface, you watch as you are looking up in the sky, there's not 3 model Thievises. There's about 15 of them that are currently now circling overhead. Word traveled fast. And you watch as the door released is currently plucked from the water, as well as another one. And then the barrel next to you pulled up out of the surf itself. As what you can see one making a line for you, and then it kind of waves off before getting close to you, as you're currently still riding it, sucking in air. Hecate.
Whoa.
I'll take a look around this room, see if there's anything else of note, and then probably do the same as he did. Smart idea.
How deep are you going into it?
Maybe
The barrels are currently, so if you imagine the room has a height of maybe 7 feet,
Yeah.
the barrels themselves are 3 to 4 feet tall. So there's a space if you swim underneath to actually look down in the rest of the room.
I'll see if I can see anything. I might not be able to because I don't have the dark vision or any light. But
One thing you can see as you glance down forward is what appears to be a table caught on its side, as well as a group of preserved but open, in the state of some level of deterioration, not as much as the rest, scroll tubes that appear to be stacked up one on top of one another, that are currently underneath one of the tables overturned.
scroll tubes, you say?
I do.
I'm gonna swim towards those.
Swimming towards it. It's hard to make out it's now getting very dark for you in the space that you're inside of, but you can see that it looks to be 5 leather tubes. All of them are opened. If there's anything on the inside, it's hard to make out, but they're underneath a table that looks to have some sort of engraving along the actual top of it. Rubbing your hand along it, you can feel some texture that's put into it, but it's way too dark to see.
I'll try and free the scroll tubes and then make my way back up.
All right, make an athletics check for me.
7.
You manage to grab 2 of them as the rest of them bobble out of your arms and then roll across the floor before you begin to panic slightly that you're now underneath a bunch of barrels 20 to 30 feet below the surface of the water in darkness, trying to fumble in the dark. But as you grab the 2 you have and begin to kick towards the surface, breaking the top of it, we'll cut back to Greta.
Ashvin's gonna stow the crowbar and put their hand out for the axe that Greta's holding.
Mm-hmm.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
And I think we were gonna make our way over to that other part. What was it? Aft
The aft castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's gonna go up to the top where it looks like there's those pieces that are kind of sticking off,
Right.
and just
So
start.
there's a set of windows here along the back.
Ooh, perfect. So along the windows and any other parts, she's just gonna go berserk with the axe.
Make an attack roll.
I'm just gonna watch.
Okay, as you're watching, you can see that inscribed across the back of this ship in large gilded lettering, there's little bits of gold leaf that somehow are still attached enough to catch your eye. But looking at them, you can see that the name of this ship was Test of Patience.
Okay. Had I heard of that before at all? Either of these ships?
Not in particular. You make a history check.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Sure. Let's see. Yeah, I don't remember really much.
What was it?
It was.
I thought it was a 1.
Actually, no. It was actually a 10.
It was a 10. Okay. Nothing comes to mind.
Okay.
Just by the nature of these ships, they appear to finding the soldiers you found and also
Yeah.
the general layout of the ships. You have seen ships of war like this. This is not a
Okay.
merchant vessel.
Right. Okay.
Test of patience. Those soldiers sure were patient.
Your attack roll.
What do I add for the axe?
3, I believe.
You can treat it as a normal weapons attack.
Oh,
so
okay.
your strength plus your
Yeah, it's you.
Oh,
You're
strength.
different
Yeah,
than I
strength
am.
plus
Okay.
You're definitely proficient at it.
12.
Yeah.
12.
It damages 1d6.
Hacking into the casing around the windows immediately begin to give way what little left of glass there is.
Yeah.
And as it begins to glitter in the light down below, illuminated by the stone that you're currently holding in, I'm assuming, your other hand. Looking down into the space as your eyes are adjusting to the new illumination that's passing through the window, you can see resting against the back wall what appears to be a frock coat, still preserved, slightly drifting in the currents. Both arms extended. It's a large frock coat. Whoever wore it would have been a larger individual. But notably, the entire contents of this compartment, which appears to have been likely the captain's quarters, have collapsed inward into the actual space against this coat, such that you can see the coat floating, likely the garment left over. It's very dark, looks like it's almost furry. It's giving the indication that it has a bit of a mass to it, but you can see that there's a large table pressed against it. You can see what appear to be several elongated shapes that are also there, which stand out as not being wood. There's a small dresser that's still resting there. Whenever the aft castle actually flipped, the windows might have given a little bit of saving grace to preserve the contents, but now they're obviously beginning to deteriorate.
Yeah.
Would you like to move
She's
into the
just
space?
hacking at anything that
There's
looks
enough-
like it'll be loose.
As you begin to cut away, there's small bits coming off. You can see that they're about the size of a handful. It's as you're trying to rip off a larger section, it keeps disintegrating in your hands. Really.
Okay. What about even if I start going into the dresser?
Moving into the space as you're now flipping over the end and beginning to swim downward, make a perception check.
19.
19. Pulling at the dresser, very quickly the door dislodges. And releasing it, you watch as it clatters up slightly against the windows, but that'll likely float.
Yeah.
And as you're rattling against the cupboard, attempting to pull it to pieces, you can see scraps of clothing falling out, as well as fish losing their minds, essentially, at this intrusion they had never expected.
My home!
As currently you're rattling this, trying to find something loose. Are you joining her as well? At the end of this turn, you'll need to go for it.
I was gonna say I feel lightheaded
Okay.
a little bit, so I'm just kind of watching.
All right, as you're watching, notably, as you're rattling against it, at one point you lift up the cupboard, using your strength to really try to dislodge it. And when you do, a glimmer of reflection catches your eye underneath the table. As you pull up the dresser, the table lifts slightly against the coat, and you can see underneath an oilcloth elongated tube. It's not something you would store scrolls in. It's much larger than that. It's 5 feet long, and it's a square construction, but with rounded edges. But it's capped in what appears to be copper. And even now, with the patina it has, it's glimmering against the light from the stone you're holding.
Okay,
But it's slightly out of reach, so you're gonna have to go for it to
Okay.
get it.
Okay, are you going for it?
Yeah.
We'll get to that
it's
the next
shiny.
round.
Oh, Okay.
It's shiny.
I think I see her struggling.
Yeah.
I would. There was a drawer that was floating,
Yeah.
right? I think I hand the drawer to her and say,
Okay, as I'm floating up to the top, I can cast, I have one more magical tinkering. A static visual effect, including up to 25 words of text, can float off of the drawer. And so I'm like, bop, 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 but I want it to say, but only 25 words.
I just like the idea of you making the sounds as you're writing the static text.
And I would like
Speech
it.
translation.
I would like it
Wasting
to
more
be
air.
in a really pretty cursive.
Yeah.
And in gold. And I wanted to say,
Grab that shiny thing. We want it. Not for those foopin' birds. I put it in my fathom satchel. Exclamation point. Exclamation point. Yeah.
that's 25.
I like how you counted satchel as 2 words.
That was 2 syllables. She's not feeling well. She doesn't know.
Just had a second, yeah, you'll be fine.
So as this image appears on the
Yeah.
drawer, which is now floating, I have to ask something. Can Ashvin read?
"Yeah,
Okay.
I have average intelligence.
All right.
I think so. Maybe not cursive, but I think she'll get the gist of it."
Bad choice. Bad choice.
Maybe not.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
as these are indicated for
Yeah.
between you, you can see Greta now holding the stuff, making her way towards
Yeah.
the surface. As you break surface, you can see Iwin directly next to you, around a barrel.
Oh my god, so many birds!
There's a lot of them.
By the spirits!
It's making me very uncomfortable that there's this many birds.
Yeah!
And I let go of the drawer because I don't want to be near wood because I feel like they're gonna snatch the wood.
Within only a few seconds, one of these massive 15-foot wingspan birds just darts towards the water and snatches it.
Hey, we saw something shiny down there. Like, I don't know if it's like worth money, gold, something. But Ashvin's getting it.
All right.
And I go back down.
Nope.
As you,
Well,
as
all
both
right.
of you, are you diving down as well?
I was gonna wait for him to come up so we could talk before we went
Okay,
down.
so as we start the next turn, you're kicking your way to the surface.
Got it.
And as you're currently just batting your way up now, you have these 2 tubes
Yeah.
as you surface next to Iwin.
All right. Found some tubes. Found some look like scroll tubes. Yeah.
All right. What's in the tube?
I don't know.
Why don't you open one of them? Let's see if
I
it's
can
worth
take a
going
look and
back.
see what's inside.
As you go to open it, reaching, you realize you're holding it upside down. And flipping it now over, it was open when you removed it from the room. But you can see pasted to the side of the walls in the interior of this has a regular pattern of a geometric grid as well as some markings. It's almost a paper mache now that's on the inside of it.
That's so sad.
And attempting to look at it in the light even, you can see that it's a map of some kind. It's likely a navigational chart,
Of course.
but it's long since rotted.
I see. This could have been a map of some sort. It's gone now.
All right. What about the other one? Do you have 2 there?
They both look the same.
They were, yeah.
So they're worthless.
Just tosses it to the side.
Within,
get it.
Within just a few moments, a massive Thievis just plucks them right out of the water and disappears.
Say that again.
There were 3 more.
Do you think they're worth going back for?
I'm gonna go back for them.
All right. Here's the deal. You go back for them scrolls.
Yeah.
Bring some barrels back up with you as well.
Yep.
I'm gonna check that other hatch.
Good idea. All right,
All
let's
right.
go.
All right. All right. Jump off the barrel.
Yeah. As you descend, looking back just over your shoulder, you watch as the barrel you were hanging onto plucked out of the water
Very uncomfortable.
as you're making your way back down. For you, Ashvin, still in the space in the compartment, it's a bit of a squeeze as you're currently swimming back towards the aft castle. It's a bit of a squeeze reaching for it, but you manage to get your hand on it. And as you do, and you begin to pull it free, you can see that it's, whatever it is, it has a bit of a buoyancy to it, is it where it wants to float the second you grab it, which seems to be a positive sign that whatever was the interior is sealed. But it's long. It's also heavy. Whatever's inside of it, it has a heft to it.
Okay.
Likely something metal on the inside just by the amount of weight. And as you're pulling on it to dislodge it, having it in your hands, you watch as sort of the frock coat is now free as it's kind of drifting. And as it does, you see that the arm of the coat, as it's near you, extends and very quickly is not a coat, but is a very large tentacled arm, which begins to wrap around you, pulling you towards the wall. And as you shift your gaze to the right, you realize it is an enormous octopus, which has been resting against the back wall. I need you to roll initiative.
Oh.
Truly thought that was what was in there. It's like that's an octopus captain.
She can't breathe.
That's. Oh, you're
Ashvin's
almost out of
never
breath.
seen an
Yeah.
octopus
She has
before.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Here's the whole frock coat.
That's a big octopus.
And Ashvin, this wall is not here.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is not
All right.
Got it.
here.
10.
10, the octopus goes first.
Oh boy.
Boy.
Now, is she still holding on to the gold?
I am. Yeah, I'm planning on it. What I'm not holding on to is that rock.
As
Yeah,
the
the
rock just releases out of your hand,
Yeah.
and you watch it float down to the bottom. It's still giving a bit of light at the moment.
Okay.
Oh.
Currently,
Terrifying.
as
Yeah,
One source.
the octopus is making an attack, it attempts to wrap its tentacles around you, essentially pinning you within its grasp. That is a 23 to hit.
It hits.
Wow.
That is 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And you find yourself now grappled within the tentacles of this creature.
Okay.
Already the beak of the octopus attempting to poke and grab, to bite at you.
It's clothing. It's not armor. But
Right,
yeah.
But yeah, as it's currently, you can feel it making its way around, trying to find purchase, to try to bite against you as you're pushing against it. Still holding the tube. Is it in your left hand, right hand? Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the axe is in the right hand, and I think the left hand is the pole.
So currently you are grappled as we
Okay.
start your round.
Oh boy.
Are my arms constrained?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Got it.
Nope, nope, nope.
So basically your speed is 0,
Okay.
and it has advantage against you as it's currently attempting to bite and drown you.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Oh my god.
I'm going to I'm gonna just close. I'm gonna close my eyes for a second. I've never seen this kind of a creature before, but just say some brief words to myself. I can't take in a deep breath, but I just tell myself, "You've got this," and I'm gonna
Giant
attempt to
octopus.
break free. That's
All right.
the only thing I can do.
Make an athletics check.
Okay.
Oh, graves.
11.
It's not enough. As you attempt to break free, you find the octopus has you. Looking at it, it's easy to tell why you were unable to see it. The mottled skin that it has is already shifting patterns according to what you're wearing and against the woodwork that it's against. It appears that it has some sort of active camouflage. So being rested against the dresser, you can see the clothes that were spread out. It likely just picked a coat to be some semblance of how it looked. But as that's happening, Greta, as you are just swimming your way down now, peering into the inside,
And I have my goggles on, so I have dark vision. I can see pretty well.
looking down into it, you can see a very in distress Ashvin, who's currently wrapped up in some kind of bundle. It's difficult for you to tell even what it is, but you can see that there's air bubbles escaping and kicking and pulling as Ashvin, this large rolk, is currently being pinned by something, which looks like a large coat.
Okay, I want to attack the coat because the coat looks bad.
So as you going into the space, go ahead and make an attack roll as you engage.
I want to
large
cast Thorn Whip.
coat. Okay.
Okay, it's my cantrip.
It's a good friend to tell you when the coat's bad.
Yeah, I'm like, that coat is not for you. Okay. All
Does
right.
not match your vibe.
Yeah. Drat, double drat. We're gonna go
It's
with
very last season.
15.
15 hits.
Okay.
It's very big.
Oh yes. Okay, here we go. So 8 damage plus. If the attack hits, the creature takes 8 damage, which I just rolled, And if the creature is large or smaller, you can pull the creature up to 10 feet closer to you.
All right. So as you cast Thorn Whip, you watch as this extension out of your hand, looking like vine mixed with seaweed and kelp, it is taking on the natural environment as it darts through and whips itself around the shoulders of the coat. The second it makes contact, the camouflage drops, and you can see this enormous octopus with its bright orange skin now against the background. And as it's illuminated by both your goggles and the small stone in the back, as you grab hold of it around the head, are you yanking it towards the top?
Yeah.
As you pull, obviously there's a magical element that's adding mass.
Yes,
to
because
be able
I
to
am
pull.
2'1".
Yeah, but as you're pulling on this enormous octopus and Ashvin, who's currently in its grasp, you pull both of them.
Okay, so they're now straight up.
As-
now, are they
as they
more
do-
exposed now to where our friends would be able to see more of this?
You're still very much inside the compartment. You're right at where the window space is, but at the moment, no.
Okay.
But as it currently has her, and you're starting to feel a little bit of a burn on your lungs.
Oh.
But as there's a slight explosion from the woodwork in the space that is pulled, it begins to drift throughout the compartment and make its way through the windows around you, but it's not large.
Would they see that?
No.
Okay.
But we go to the two of you, as you're currently
Yeah, boys are chilling.
as you're currently swimming your way towards the forecastle on early dawn.
I think you're
I
going.
was going to go back
You're
for
going.
the.
He's going back.
You're going back to the
scroll
barrels.
tube.
The
That's
scrolls
right.
and the barrels. I'm going. We're splitting up.
Yeah. So as
Oh, is
you
it
make
Greta?
your way into the space, how many barrels are you grabbing?
I'm going to go for the tubes first.
Okay.
And then I'm probably going to grab one or two barrels, however many I can get.
As you make your way back to where the tubes are now with a full set of air, as you are maneuvering them, I love the combat happening out of
Yeah.
sync. As you're maneuvering the tubes, having a decent time, lifting them up, you can see that all of them, the latches have failed, and they're fully empty.
Pain. Oh, that's so sad.
Bits of parchment are falling out of them as you lift them up and sort of floating in the middle. An occasional fish darts out of one as you lift it.
What's a tear in an ocean? Nothing. All right. Doesn't look like there's anything else in here.
Not in the tubes, no.
Can I take another look around this compartment?
The compartment itself otherwise is scant on anything that's tangible anymore. There is a lot of furniture that looks fully destroyed.
Okay. I'll try and grab a bundle of sticks then, and the scroll tubes will probably work too. So
And as well as you've got 15 barrels above your head.
yeah, well, I'll grab some of the tubes and then grab the barrels.
Yeah. So as you grab a barrel in one arm and make your way to the surface with the tubes, Iwin, as you're making your way over to the forecastle on your vessel, make a perception check. It is dark.
True.
12.
12. You can see that there's a little bit of detritus floating off of the aft castle of the other vessel. Bits of planking or drifting, splintery wood. Nothing that significant.
Okay.
Wonder what's going on over there.
Yeah. Whoa. I was like,
Oh, man, they're making some headway.
no trouble that I'm aware of. All right. Yeah, I want to get the door open.
All right, it doesn't really even take much to open it. As you push yourself against it with just body weight, the door gives way. And immediately entering the space as you find yourself collapsing slightly on the door into the interior compartment, you can see here that when the two ships collided, the bowsprit on this vessel looks like it impacted into the forecastle, such that it came apart and like javelins impaled 3 sailors that were in this compartment, such that they're still stuck against the wall, pinioned by the actual wood that jettisoned from it. And likewise, it's very collapsed. The remains of the 3 of them, only the rarest scraps of clothing are still floating against their bones. They weren't wearing any armor. But looking, you can see that there appears to be some measure of searchable space in here if you want to continue in. It appears that this was some kind of berth, possibly, where they slept. But make a perception check.
17.
17.
Ooh.
You can see along the back of the compartment looks to be, and this is really plying into your background, a large watertight tool chest. The kind you would see normally in the workshop of a larger seagoing vessel. It appears that one of them is up here in the berth, but it's a large watertight tool chest. The kind that would be used to maintain a ship.
Ooh. I'm going to go over and open that right up.
As you release
Because it'd be too heavy to just kick out.
you could kick it out. Because
I could
Yeah, you could
move
kick
it?
it out, yeah.
Well, before opening it, then I want to just...
All right, putting both your hands on the handles of it as you lift it up, it's got some weight to it. It looks like there's something in it.
All right, then open it.
All right, as you
I don't want them birds having it. It's not good.
as you release the locks on it and lift it open, immediately you can see that this is a fully stocked chest, and there's a slight puff of air that releases from it. It was still held within. It looks like there's 2 different mallets, quite a few nails. You can see that there's various different screwdrivers, chisels, planes. It's a full carpenter's tool chest, as well as some larger, slicker chisels that are used for large pieces of wood.
Wow. I'll just take as much as I can get.
All right,
Can I-
it has enough mounting points that where you could strap it to yourself if you
Oh,
wanted
great.
to.
I think I'm
Yeah.
just going to strap that.
All right, so as you essentially bundle it to yourself, you're now in possession of a carpenter's tool chest.
Ooh.
Very
And then
useful.
there's nothing else of note in here?
Yeah.
Great. And then I think I just want to swim out and make my way, if I have enough air, to try to go get a barrel.
Okay.
out.
So as you swim out of your compartment and swim across to the other side, make your way to a barrel, you watch
I
as
don't know what's going on.
Hecate is now at the surface with a barrel, and we cut back to the 2 of you.
Oh god.
It goes first to
Nothing
giant
is
octopus.
worse. Nothing's
I
good.
didn't
Can you roll
roll.
initiative, please?
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I am 13.
13, second in order.
Cool.
The giant octopus is attempting to squeeze you and bite at you. That is a 20 to hit.
It hits.
Okay.
A natural?
No, a natural.
God.
And that is 7 points of piercing damage as the beak grabs hold of your arm and begins trying to eat you actively as you are held within its grasp. And that brings us to Greta.
Am I? How far am I from it?
You're right next to it.
So,
It was 10 feet away from you when you pulled it.
right. Cool.
So currently in the space.
They're holding my axe.
Yes. Ashvin and the octopus are currently directly in front of you.
Okay.
Your back is to the window, which is
Yeah.
now in tatters.
Right.
But they're pressed up against you.
Okay, but so if I wanted, I could, like, escape.
Yeah.
So my movement could be floating away.
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to float back like 20 feet and then do Thorn Whip again.
As you float back, the octopus does not take an opportunity attack against
Okay,
you.
I float back and I do Thorn Whip again.
Go for it.
13.
13 hits. It's a big target.
Ooh.
Okay,
Oh.
7 damage.
Okay.
I do not pull it close to me. Do I see any of my friends floating up?
You see Hecate at the surface.
Do I see Iwin?
If you're 20 feet away from the octopus,
Yeah.
you are able to pull it 10 feet.
Yeah.
So
Okay, would that make it come out? I want it to come out.
you can try.
Okay.
Hail Mary?
It says that I'm allowed to. It doesn't have to do anything. It hit, so I can pull
So
it
you
10
can
feet. I
pull
want
it.
to pull it all the way out.
All right. I just need you just roll a d20 for me.
I don't want this one. I want this one.
Yeah,
Yes,
you do want
17.
that.
Natural
17.
17.
Nice.
As you grab hold of it now with this kelp extended thorn whip, which is currently attached to the octopus, and a struggling Ashvin, as you can see a look of distress in their eyes.
Yeah.
You yank the octopus and Ashvin through the back planking of the transom, blowing out the gilding letters that had indicated that this was a test of patience. And as currently
Does the wood float up?
it does. As there's this explosion of planking and decking, you don't notice it because currently you're swimming towards some barrels.
Yeah.
However, you notice As you break the surface looking down, you can see currently Greta, her small figure in the distance, with a massive whip attached to what appears to be Ashvin in the midst of a tentacled morass, which is currently spinning now in the eddy of debris, legs kicking and head flailing against this, currently bundled, and air just escaping in bubbles.
I'm going.
Okay.
I see commotion.
So if you could roll, you'll be entering combat in the next round.
Cool.
So with that, it's to you, Ashvin.
Yeah, I'm just.
Well done, Greta.
I have a rules question. If I go into a rage so that I can have advantage on my athletics check, is breaking my grapple retaining my rage, or will my rage go away right away if I fail?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Well, because you're being attacked.
Because you're being
Because
attacked.
I'm being attacked.
Attacking or being attacked?
Okay.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to make sure because
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was because I didn't attack. Okay.
Oh, no. We
Cool.
like, yeah. And if that is the rule as written, I don't care.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
If
being grabbed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
currently being strangled to death in the ocean. Your rage would maintain.
I'm angry. I'm going to rage.
Oh.
So as veins popping out, you watch as Ashvin swells in size as they're attempting to break the grapple of this octopus. What would you like to do?
I'm raging, so I'm gonna try and break the grapple.
You're not
It's a
under. Yeah. So go ahead and make an athletics check.
athletics check, and I'm
Yeah.
going to do it with advantage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oops, that didn't count.
It has to be in the box.
Okay. So I did a 9 and a 17. So 17 plus 6 is 23.
That's enough. As you break free of the octopus, all 8 legs flying, as you can now see, this is an enormous creature. As it's now splayed out in a starfish pattern.
Yeah.
Currently, backlit, you're able to see this massive octopus attacking your friends as you're grabbing hold of a few more barrels. You're currently free and directly next to the creature.
All right, and I've got that axe, and in this moment,
And the tube in the other hand.
yeah, and the tube in the other hand. In this moment, if there weren't water all around them already, Ashvin's eyes would be watering because this was supposed to be fun. They've never been down into the ocean before. This is their first time meeting whatever this thing is, and it attacked them. So they're going to attack with the axe.
Make an attack roll.
This was supposed to be fun.
A fun field trip.
Yeah, it's just a field trip.
The grave of 2 ships.
So it's 11 plus my strength
It
is
hits.
3. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'll just say right now, it has an AC of 11.
Yeah,
Oof.
and that's a d6, right?
Yes.
It's 6 plus 3 plus, what is it for the rage?
I think it's 2.
Yes, 2.
Yeah, plus 2. So
As you bury the hand axe
Yeah.
into the creature, this blood immediately fills the water as you've hacked deeply into one of its tentacles, almost to the root.
Yeah.
And withdrawing the axe now, you can see the beaks of this creature currently chattering as it realizes the match that it's attempted to dine on. And that brings us to Hecate. As you're approaching, I need you to roll initiative.
22.
22. First in the
it's-
order.
It was 11 damage, right?
Yeah.
Per her?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. First in the order. Coming up.
Can I get up to it?
Oh, yeah. You can make it to it.
All right, and I will try and attack.
All right.
Yeah.
Making an attack roll.
As I see Ashvin getting attacked by this, and then just break free of of the tentacles. I'm gonna try and help out with a 19 plus. Yeah, it hits.
That hits.
It
Yeah.
hits.
It's an 11. Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately, that's gonna be 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage as you hack into the creature now
Yeah.
with your sword. Once more, this blood fills the area as the creature now realizing it's being hemmed in on 3 sides.
Yeah, and bonus action, I'm gonna hit it with a dagger.
Go for it.
Oh.
20.
Yeah.
And 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage. As you peck at it.
Yeah.
The creature now, you watch as both eyes, they're not moving in its space, but the creature's spinning slightly, taking in its surroundings. Suddenly, this inky blackness
Oh, God.
surrounds the area that you're currently swimming in, such so that you can't tell what is up, down, around you. You are suddenly immersed in night. And with that, you feel this enormous rush of water as the creature vacates the space that you're in.
Oh.
Good.
We have made an enemy.
Powerful, powerful enemy. We're
So
come
it's
back
gone.
next time, it's going to be Kraken.
It's gone.
Yeah, but what's happened with me and those bears?
Yeah, what's going on with
Yeah,
you?
let's get to the real action here.
As you, if I can have everyone actually, it did not attack anyone. So as we
Okay.
now go to Greta,
Yeah.
you're just in black darkness.
Do my goggles help me at all?
It's heavily obscured. You can't
Okay.
see anything.
I'm gonna try to just swim out of whatever that is.
As you just begin swimming a direction,
Yeah.
looking back now, you can see that there's this sphere of ink that's surrounding your companions.
Okay.
As well as the faint outline of the giant octopus at high speed escaping the environment.
Retreating.
Already 120 feet away from you.
Okay. Am I able to see any limbs of my friends to grab them out of
No.
the black ink?
You can just see the darkness.
Okay, I'm gonna try to just move the water around as much as possible to like clear.
As you're patting
The
at the
inky
water and
water.
attempting to move it, it's feeling like you're making progress. At the very least, you're not
But we
having a guilty
don't know.
conscience.
We're not sure.
Going to Iwin. You've got a couple choices of barrels here. You've got some that likely held food. There's a few that maybe were used for repairing the ship. Might hold some deck planks. Maybe 2 for 1. And there's also 3 of the smaller barrels full of lamp oil
I
left.
want to push that one with all those planks out.
All right. As you heave it out the door, heavier than the rest.
Then another like whatever fruit or whatever been meat. Push
All right.
that out.
Yeah.
And then take one of those small ones because those small ones have lamp oil. in it,
Lamp oil,
right?
yeah.
I want one of those. I'm going to keep myself and then head back out.
All right. So as these 3 barrels, as they push out
This
the door,
is the content.
Yes, the content
as they push out the door, and you
Not
find
here for
yourself
fights.
feeling a pretty good job. Look how many barrels you got with this trip. Got 3 this time. Swimming out, you can see Greta in distress, patting at what appears to be a large black sphere. You can see Ashvin kicking, wildly swinging with an axe. Down at the bottom of it in blindness, essentially striking out. You can see Hecate drifting to the west in the water, trying to orient himself with his environment, as well as this explosion of wood and splinters drifting up from the back of the vessel, but no enemies in sight.
I don't know what to do. I just like I gotta swim to the top first, get my breath, and go back and figure it out.
As you make your way to as you
Oh my
swim
God.
to the surface, you watch as the Thievises grab the barrels. Now looking overhead, there's only a few left.
I'm keeping hold of that one. That
All
little
right,
one.
as you have the small one still
Yeah.
tucked under your arm. There's only a couple Thievises left.
Oh, there's only
Still
two.
circling overhead,
Right.
looking down at you.
Then now I'll take a big breath of air and go back down and see what that
Making your way over, all of you are out of combat.
Oh.
It takes you a while to gather yourselves to figure out which way is up, to make sure you're not accidentally swimming deeper. Currently, the giant octopus is gone. As Iwin swims up looking concerned and confused.
I would like to. Can I see Ashvin's like her damage on her? Or
You can see bruising, and there's blood, obviously bleeding in places where the beak tried to eat her arm.
I would. Oh, sorry.
I have an interesting point of order. I forgot to roll for my
Yeah.
wild magic rage,
Right.
and I rolled a 6.
Okay.
So right now it's wearing off, but if you're asking like if you can see me where I am, what had happened is that I'm surrounded by these multicolored protective lights, and I had a +1 to my AC.
Okay.
But it's just there's pretty lights right now. That's what happened. They're
gl-
starting to fade away.
This glowing menagerie.
As
around you.
yes. So that's illuminating my bite marks.
Really showing them off.
Oh yeah.
It's been a rough few days for Ashvin and being bitten.
I would like
true.
to, if I can, do cure wounds on her as I approach, get closer. If I can.
can.
How is my breath?
Right now,
Yeah.
you're at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to. As she's going up.
As you're kicking for the surface, you were within 1 round of suffocating. But as you're, that was exciting.
No.
as crisis averted there.
Yeah.
You feel this green innervation
Ooh.
envelop you as
Ooh.
Iwin is casting Cure Wounds. And the burn of the salt water stinging against the wound immediately begins to seal. That's how many hit points?
10.
10.
Nice.
Wow, great. As the stitching begins to immediately shut on your arm, the four of you surface.
Oh my gosh!
What was that?
Goodness gracious!
What happened to all you?
What was that thing?
An octopi!
I
Octopi.
thought there was multiple of them.
Oh, octopus! One! I always
Eight
got them
tentacles.
confused.
I know it's an octopus.
Yeah.
I just didn't see anything.
Yeah,
All I saw
did.
you guys was in the darkness.
you guys missed it. I pulled it all the way close, like I was really strong.
I
you
hate
okay?
it.
That's gone now.
Yeah, are you okay?
You're
I'm
right.
fine. Thank you for this. She's holding underneath the rod underneath, kind of like treading water, and then hands the axe back to
Yeah.
Looking back, there is a definitive handprint now embedded in the tube that you had pulled. The
Hey.
little cloth tube of metal.
I'm gonna pull up my fathom satchel so the air is surrounding it.
Put it in here. We'll check that out later. Okay?
It's
Sorry,
fine.
there's a bit of an indentation there.
Oh, well, now we know it's yours.
It rattles. It's slightly bent.
Yeah.
We'll check this out.
What's that?
We don't know.
Oh, interesting.
This
Go let them
octopus,
see that you took it.
this octopus looked like a coat. First it looked like a bear. Then it looked like a coat.
Another barrel's pulled out of the water next to you.
Ooh,
Looking as the last barrel.
Oh, they're making quick work of that.
oh.
There's still more above.
Do we need more?
I
I think
think
we need more.
we got a lot.
There's a whole lot more barrels down there.
I want to start waving up to and just shouting at the top of my lungs to the birds.
Okay. What are you saying?
I'm saying I am trying to imitate the sounds that I had heard before of them when I was in
Right.
their nest. What do
Right.
they sound like?
Make an animal handling check.
Oh. Hey, get it. 23.
23.
Rolling so well tonight.
Yeah.
As you shout back up, what sound are you making?
I want to imitate the sound when they said stick to me, but I didn't know that's what it was.
It was more of a deep
Yeah,
kind of
I want
sound.
to I want to make that sound.
If you could make that sound.
Mom!
As you, as you
Be careful.
as you
Try not to offend them.
That's how they talk.
as you make that sound, you watch as one of the thievises immediately turns and begins diving towards you. And with that, quickly snatches both you and Iwin out of the water in its claws,
Oh, no, what
lifting
have
you
you-
up into the air.
What have you done?
and as I yell back to them, I say,
Make the noise.
Has you by an arm, has you by a leg. As currently you're now dangling upside down.
okay, I'm shouting to you guys to make the same noise.
As,
I don't know if I'm physically capable of making that sound.
as you utter this, you find yourself lifted from behind as one of the birds pulls you up. It's deeply uncomfortable with the speed with which you're pulled from the water.
Oh.
And as you're currently find yourself alone. Well, the largest bird, as it circles, plucks you out of the water. As you find yourself laying almost limp as the rage begins to
I'm
drain out of your body.
dripping wet. My fur is soaked.
As you are carried through the air, now soaking wet. It is so cold. The bird just making their way across the waves. Until you can see in the distance, illuminated, the small island from which you had left before. And as you approach, getting close to the shore, towards the place where you had originally emerged to climb up, you can see the small barrel tucked next to it, wedged underneath a rock that would have been Rupert's, as well as you can see Rupert currently holding what appears to be a pole, fishing in the water. before, as you come in on an approach, very quickly, not slowing down, the birds release you.
Into the water.
And you find yourself splashing into the water in the shallows once more.
Oh,
As you
I was just starting to
settle
cry.
into the deep again. And surface, you can see Rupert currently on the shore holding what appears to be a large pole with a line attached to it dangling in the water. Hello!
Hey, Rupert.
Where have you been, Rupert?
Make a perception check, Ashvin.
Okay, so we're in shallow water.
You are. You're about 15 feet off the shore.
13.
13. You recognize the pole.
Do I?
Currently, it appears Rupert is fishing with your glaive. Before Rupert peering up now, you can see nervously holding a fish and the glaive in one hand.
I thought you all died. I thought you were dead.
Thanks.
We're alive.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Rupert.
Yeah.
Would you have a
Well, I thought you died last. We had to get
Oh,
sticks.
much appreciated.
What? Why? What? It's been Hello, Ashvin.
Hello?
I found something.
It begins to move the glaive behind his back. I mean, it's much taller than him anyway.
Is the boomerang still attached to
It
it?
is not. There's a line tied where the boomerang had been,
Okay.
but currently no. As you find yourself trudging out of the shallows now onto the shore, next to Rupert is a large pile of fish. Rupert's been prodigious while you've been gone.
Oh.
Likewise, there's the glaive. If I could have everybody make a perception check real quick.
By the spirits, well done, Rupert.
And you can see Rupert's dabbing at his eyes, possibly wiping away small tears as you settle yourselves into where you had just been pulled by the birds. Perception checks.
12.
12,
9.
9,
My
6,
head.
6,
18.
18.
You'll see a lot.
Either way, it's enough. In the darkness, you can see very quickly the glaive in Rupert's hand
Yeah.
and the fishing line.
Spit it out, Rupert.
Looking behind Rupert, against the cliff face, are piled up 4 small rows, pushed against the rocks in a neat order. And on top of one of the rows is set your boomerang,
Okay.
as well it looks to be a half-eaten honey cake.
Okay.
So, welcome back. I am.
And he just proceeds to run forward, dropping the glaive, and just attempts to wrap his arms around the 4 of you in a hug.
Oh,
It's good to see you too, Rupert.
Oh, but that's so sweet. My head hurts so
Oh,
bad.
you're all wet.
Yeah,
it's
I
awful.
hug tighter.
You pull against now.
yeah.
Ashvin was shaking until she saw the boomerang, and then as soon as she saw it, she took a deep breath and gives a little pat back.
You begin patting him.
I start hugging everyone. Oh, I hug your boots.
Oh, I'm so glad we're out of that.
Yeah, I'm tired. I just want to sleep.
We gotta go to bed. Whew.
I recommend putting rocks on things. The birds steal stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got that.
that's why we. It's a long story. I don't got it in me to tell it to you.
Ashvin goes to pick up the glaive.
She
and
grabs
is
the
just
glaive.
holding on to it.
Rupert, where's your barrel?
Over there.
As he motions towards one of the
Rupert, how
rocks.
do we get off this island? Have you learned how to get off?
No, but I have fish.
Okay.
Well, I think what we should do is we should eat something and rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
But how are we gonna get out of here?
I think tomorrow morning we can
One
figure
thing
it
at a time, right? Whoa, my head!
Okay.
Whoa!
Yeah, you're right over there.
It's a salt.
And I crawl over to the fish and just eat some sushi.
It's wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
You
why
just
I said
Begin
sushi.
slicing into the fish. And are the 4 of you making camp with
Yeah.
Yeah,
what you
I'd like to
can?
Yeah.
start a fire.
Hecate will kind of speak up. I got something we can use. Make camp. Might be a little bit more comfortable than sleeping on the rocks.
With that, before you're able to reach for anything, Rupert just hands you a large fish.
As a pillow. It's very comfortable.
I
He hands you a
appreciate
fish.
the thought, but
Reaching down, hands Iwin a fish.
I eat the fish.
She just bite into it.
I've made that mistake before. I'm gonna cook that first. He will procure.
Picks up your fish and hands it to Greta.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Rupert.
Rupert, you're so resourceful.
I like to think so.
Thank you.
I'm very good at outdoors things.
Did you start a fire?
No.
All right, let's get one started.
Well,
We gotta dry up.
yeah. And he will pull out his torch. As you can see, kind of this like iron brazier, like leather wrapped handle. Looks pretty old, but still in very, very good condition. As he will upturn it and plant it in the ground as a tent sprouts from it.
Oh, wow.
Bigger on the inside.
And Rupert immediately makes his way into the flaps.
Yeah, this is the camper's respite.
Thank you, Griffin Saddlebag.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Griffin Saddlebag.
Oh my god, I fell asleep on this fish and now I'm in a tent. Wow.
It's 5 foot square, and on the inside, it is 15 feet on the side.
Okay.
So it's a little bit bigger, kind of a TARDIS situation.
What is it like inside?
Yeah, it is very much Hecate's vibe. You can tell that he's used this very many times. There are weird bits and pieces, some bones kind of hanging from like strings on the top of like the top of the canvas. But it is 15 feet on a side, and there is enough ample room for everybody to sleep in. There's also a little fire in the middle that is not creating smoke, because we're in a tent, and that would not be fun. No. Ooh.
Love it.
Yeah.
As Rupert pulls in a bundle of the fish to begin immediately cooking them.
They're better cooked.
Yeah.
If you've never had fish before.
All the time.
I fall back asleep on my fish.
So as the
I'm
four of you,
gonna warm up next to that fire and cook some fish with Rupert.
you really haven't slept in 2 days. So this is
I've gone to get, before I go inside, I've gone to get the bone boomerang, and I'm affixing it back to the end of the glaive.
Are you leaving the half-eaten honey cake?
Am I leaving the half-eaten honey? I mean, yeah, it's just outside here. I'm gonna go grab it.
Make an insight check
An insight check on the honey cake.
on the arrangement of the honey cake.
On the arrangement of the honey cake. 16.
Looking down as you pick the honey cake up off one of the rows, looking at the orderliness of it, and it took some time to make them, you're fairly certain these were graves that Rupert assigned to everyone.
Because it looks like stones that are set up to... Is there anything else sitting outside here? He's taking all the fish.
Yeah.
Okay. Ashvin's gonna...
His barrel is still over under one of the rocks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ashvin's gonna take the honey cake. Is there anything inside the barrel?
Just the very dirty piece of cloth and what was the empty egg sack. It's now been eaten.
Okay.
Egg sack.
Yeah, just in their arms, they're gonna kind of drag the barrel into the camp, and when they get inside, just kind of plop next to Rupert and hand him the honey cake, the half honey cake.
Oh. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Frying a fish over it.
I like honey cakes.
Rupert, I'm sorry that we didn't tell you where we were going. We had no time. They just took us and up in their arms, and then we flew off.
No, it's okay. I'm okay.
Continues cooking the fish.
Is he okay?
Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Ashvin clocks that, but is also recovering from everything, but takes note. Yeah.
All right. And as you tuck into the meal cooked by Rupert. Not salted, not spiced. Just fish.
Just fish.
And rest the evening on this small cinder cone island. We're going to go to a break.
Yeah.
As the party awakens in the morning, it's been a comfortable sleep. Really the first sleep that you've had in 2 days. When you set out from Farson Heights in pursuit of Latch, you didn't expect to spend that entire evening on the Pummelbub, punting along the shallows of Wooden Teeth in your pursuit. Then upon encountering Latch upon the seas, on his ship the Severe, were then shipwrecked to then wake up the next morning, then into afternoon, on the shores of this unnamed island. But now, you've slept.
Oh.
It was comfortable. Your stomachs are full.
Yes.
Your breath is probably bad.
Oh.
But you're safe. So everyone's had a long rest.
Yes.
Finally.
Everything back.
Upon awakening, the tent flap is already open. Rupert has been out and has already caught more fish, which are now being strung up in what appears to be possibly an overreaction to the lack of food for the last 2 days. You can see that Rupert's caught 30 fish, at least, which are now strung up by a line. You think it's possible the strange green cloth has been slightly taken apart to find these lines. But now there's a combination of food experiment and art project occurring as more and more fish are being gathered, strung up, dried, cooked, stored. There's very much a digging into this situation approach currently for Rupert. However, as you awaken in the tent, it's just the 4 of you. What would you like to do?
Oh, it's bad breath.
Yeah, get used to it.
Hey, Hecate, where'd you get this tent? It really helped me sleep well. It looks very much like a reflection of your inner personality.
That's a really good metaphor, actually.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah, you could.
I'm not a poet normally.
No,
I'm a
not at
poet
all.
with liquids and rocks and drugs. Anyway,
And what?
nothing.
Okay, all right. Well. Oh,
Where'd you get the tent?
yeah.
We heard her say
Did
drugs.
she
She said
said
drugs.
drugs.
Yes, she said
Tell me about the
drugs.
tent.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I was. Yeah. Ever heard of a place called Drame?
Oh, Dream. Big city?
Yeah, that's where I got it.
Yeah. That's up, yeah. That's, I have family in a town not far from there. Like the High March.
Yeah,
It's a big place.
that area.
Okay,
That's where I got it.
cool. How'd you get it? Did you steal it or something?
No, I didn't steal
You
it.
can tell us we're your friends.
No, I found it.
Oh,
Yeah.
like you were like stealing something?
No, I genuinely found it.
Where? Like on the ground?
An alley.
Oh.
So very lucky find.
Yeah, what
could
were
say.
you doing in an alley? I've been in many alleys. You could tell me.
Well, are you aware of the situation that's going on with Drame right now?
Not really. You guys?
Am I aware?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not sure.
So yeah, this is an interesting question. Make a history check.
Okay.
For Ashvin, you're going to be more inclined to this than Iwin.
Okay.
Am I aware? I don't know.
Ooh. It's a +0, but I rolled
Probably.
7.
Make a history check.
It's a +0, but I rolled a
A
19.
19. It fits really well for the
I
rolls.
don't know much about it. I've been up in Charlotte for quite a while.
You're aware of the situation. You're not
Okay.
aware of the particulars, but the last year has been very dynamic for the area, and you are in a position to know about things within that time period.
How do you spell the place again?
The city's called Dryam.
Dryam.
Yeah, it's fine. Everyone's gonna have a regional accent for it. It's DRA, and then there's an I with 2 dots over it, and then an M. Feel free to call it Drame. The people there call it Dryam, but again,
That's
regional,
how he'll
regional
call it.
accents. Yeah.
And you say it's been dynamic, but what else? Would I know anything else? Just
The area has descended into an abrupt civil war
okay.
that kicked off roughly a year ago, and it's been a very, very quickly changing situation in the High March. It's not normally a very stable place anyway, but you're aware of the dynamic effect that it's had.
And what are the two? If it's a civil war, what are the two sides fighting over?
I would like Hecate to
Sure.
put in Hecate's perspective on this.
Remind me of the 2 different sides again.
Yeah, so
Actually, I
So
think I might
essentially,
have it.
yes, the High March is a region north of where you are now. It's a high plateau. It's extremely fertile. So it's been farmed for over 1,000 years. There's been people living there. It used to be an Asterian-controlled territory in ancient history, but now it's a whole lot of humans that have sprung up, baronies, basically, controlling vast portions of land. Those families have consolidated, changed, shifted sides, dug in, built enormous castles, and essentially they're now holding their territory. But it's a very war-driven place. It rarely ever erupts into anything that spans the whole region, but currently it's in a civil war that's split between 2 sides. One is the middle of the High March, that's run by the Dewar family. They're based out of Dryam. And then you have the 2 sides that are opposing are both the north and the south. There are several major houses that run the High March, but the ones that are currently leading from the south are the Brannister family, out of a place called Ebrenburg, which is these cities, by the way, these are large metropolises. So this region, each of these cities is in tens of thousands of people. So the region's huge. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of square miles. So it's a vast area that is directly in the middle of Ben-tir, but it's surrounded by the Hecate Mountains. And so there are very few passes in, and as a result, power consolidates quickly when you have land.
So wait a second.
Yeah,
You
what's going on?
you was up in that area when all the fighting happened?
But that's not where you're from.
No, I'm from the northern margin. Much north, much farther north, but yeah, Dryam. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced, but it's a bit of a ghost town.
Oh,
Almost a necropolis, you know.
Then what led you there?
wow.
Story for another day, but point is, went into Dryam a lot.
Okay.
That's where I found this. He gestures to the little fire that's still going in the middle. Yeah.
You want me to make you a tea to feel better? Something? You look sad.
Yeah, that would be appreciated.
All right.
I'm gonna whip out some herbs and things that I have and just start mortar and pestling a little tea.
Yeah.
A little tea.
Hecate's is gonna be out.
You don't know which way you're gonna go.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna make you feel good. Look, I cheer you up.
Thanks.
And she's got some water in her ear still, so she's getting it out.
Oh,
Ashvin wants to kind of peek out the door and see how far away Rupert is.
Peeking out the door, you can see that Rupert's currently stringing up a long line of fish now against the rocks, trying to get as much sunlight as he
Okay.
can. He's probably 30 feet from the tent entrance. He's further towards the cliff face that leads up.
Do I think that he can hear us talking?
Oh no.
Okay.
The tent walls are actually very insulating.
Almost magically so.
Is the fire still going, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna heat some water up.
As she's doing that, I think Ashvin would kind of pull everyone in and just say, "Did you all see what he was doing outside before we got back?"
The fish.
Not the fish.
I passed out right away. Slept. What was he doing?
Graves?
What's he doing?
What?
Yeah.
There's graves.
No, grave when I see one. He's
Graves for who?
Yeah.
There are four graves.
4 of us.
4 of us.
I
Wait,
thought we had died.
Rupert set those up for us.
Yeah, well, it's the first thing he said.
And he had the cake placed up on top like it was some kind of offering.
Whose cake was that?
Good
The
instincts.
cake I gave him on the boat.
Oh,
I don't know how he still had that.
I feel like he's a really sentimental guy. I'm just mortar and pestle. This is almost done.
There. We're all here, and
Oh, that poor guy.
yeah.
I wouldn't have done that if I thought someone I didn't even know was dead. I'd just say, well, hope your soul is in a better place and then move on. But this guy really,
You wouldn't do anything.
yeah, I go, hope your soul's in a better place and move on, you know. But
Very
this
good.
guy did a good thing.
He did.
Yeah.
He tried to honour us.
He really cares about us, huh?
Oh,
Looks like he does.
we gotta do something nice for him.
Wasn't
He already
a good
paid us,
idea.
right?
Yes, we got paid.
Oh, yeah, we
all
have
right.
the money.
So would that have changed your thoughts on there? Doing him something
You
nice.
know,
He
we
hadn't
gotta
paid
do
us.
something nice, you know.
But now we have money to do something.
Yeah.
You know we got money.
But we have to first get off this island
Yeah, we
before
gotta
we
get out
can
of here.
do anything nice.
Oh, I pour the hot water that was over the fire into it. And
Hecate for you.
Thank you.
You smell cinnamon and lavender
Ooh.
and something else. You don't know what it is.
He will try it. Oh, that's really hot. That's really
Can
hot.
you give it 10 seconds? It's just gonna even you out. I still got it.
That's really off-putting.
Yes.
No. You're my
You're very
friend.
suggestive.
I ain't gonna poison you. Look, there's cinnamon sticks. Come on. Give it a
wow,
try.
look, the cinnamon sticks. I'm distracted by the cinnamon all of a sudden. We'll try it. a little bit of it.
I at this point realize that I have to send a message on one of my Vobokas, and so I'm gonna not really let any of them know that, but kind of subtly, like,
You'll have to do it outside if you
yeah,
don't know
I'm gonna go
this.
outside.
I gotta go take a drop.
All right. Take yours off.
Be safe.
Remember to bury it.
Okay, got a shovel.
A Voboka are unique to ben-tir, and they're cylindrical tubes that are used to send messages. They actually physically send parchment paper between them. They can be made of a number of materials. The nicer ones are made of hardier materials, and eventually they do break down. But generally speaking, they're not addressed in such a way that you can change the destination all the time. In fact, some of them are hard coated between places, but most of them look like small cylinders. And they can be made of bone, wood, ceramic, as long as someone's capable of making one. As long as they
Yeah,
have
so
that
I just kind of
means.
slip out of the tent.
Yeah. Which one are you using?
The one that was given to me.
Pulling it out of your bag, it's made of solid copper.
Oh.
And it's heavy.
Okay.
In fact, in a lot of ways, it holding in your hand, a lot of intricacy was done for it. It's covered in a number of symbols that have been scratched into the surface using grammary magic that's usually used for enchanting an object. However, what's unique about this Voboka is that there are 6 different lines that are inscribed in overlapping patterns, such that only the one who enchanted it is aware of which one is actually accurate and the correct destination. So anyone picking it up would just see nonsense were they to try to decode it.
I'm gonna go find like a rock or something to be far away out of earshot.
As you make your way along the outside of the edge of the island, watching as you emerge from the tent, you see Rupert wave.
Oh, you're a sweet man.
And then he just bites the head off a fish,
Oh.
begins chewing it. As you move your way around
Kind
the
of
out of
tiptoe
sight,
around my grave.
stepping around the outside of the rocks, with the surf below you. You're
Okay.
back to the mountain. You're currently alone.
Okay. And I sent. How long can the message be?
Whatever can fit on a piece of paper.
Okay. I'm just gonna say,
Frank, wow, it's been a couple wild days. My bodyguards are keeping me safe though, and no progress yet. Trying real hard. Not stranded on an island or anything. Doing great.
Damn liar.
Got a good gratitude here. Bye, Greta.
Finishing your message, you put it into the Vaboka. You want to seal it? Send it off?
yeah, I want to send it. And I do know in the past they reply very quickly.
As you spin the cap on, you watch as the engravings on the outside light up instantaneously. This as it sizzles. But suddenly you hear a slight buzzing. And you watch as the telltale puff of smoke that indicates the Vaboka scent. Instead, a small bolt of light spurts out the end, sizzling in the air like a flame flickering before hitting the rock face and proceeds to vanish up into one of the holes, the small lava tubes, and vanishing into the interior of the island.
The whole Vaboka?
Just the message.
The message? But there was a message that was received.
You have never seen a reaction like that.
Is where it went, can I follow it?
Looking up, it vanished into one of the... It's moved quick as light. It was very quick. But you watched, instead of just a puff of smoke indicating the message was sent, you saw a spark appear,
Uh-oh.
which then collided with the rock face and vanished into a lava chute, into the interior of the island.
Huh? I start shaking it. Hello, is this thing on?
As you boom, boom.
Hello?
Unscrewing the cap, you can see smoke rising out of the interior.
Ow. Whew. I don't know if Frank's gonna get that message.
I guess I'm gonna go look for where the message went.
Climbing up,
Is it impossible?
go about 10, 15 feet, and then peering into a hole. It's pitch blackness.
Oh.
It's a cave that extends in. It's very small, 3 feet wide.
Okay, I want to pull out my other Vaboka.
Mhm.
The one I made. That's
clay one?
not in good shape.
The clay one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to send a message from that.
Okay.
Same message.
Same message.
Yep.
You don't have the address with that one.
Can I? Oh God. Okay.
This one's more malleable.
I'm gonna send it to.
As an artificer, you have the ability to change the address.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to. I can do like the region, like an area. I'm gonna send it to a contact that I know has a contact with my contact.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guy who
I
knows
am
a guy who knows a
Not
guy.
shady at all.
No.
No, you've never acted
Okay.
shady.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Molly! It's me, Greta. I got a good gratitude, and I'm here to tell you, you gotta give this message to Frank. I haven't found what we're looking for. Just let him know. I'm totally fine. This is just for you. I did kind of almost drown, don't tell him that. But, still looking. Keep the Wizzigan's bank account open, because I still need it. You can trust me, Greta.
As you pop the message into the tube and spin it shut.
I hope Molly gets this.
Similarly, the engraving lights up along the side as you address it to the individual you need. You watch as a spark once more emerges out of the end, uncharacteristically, and strikes directly into the lava chute directly next to you as it vanishes in the darkness.
I don't get service here. I gotta go.
I put them both in my fathom satchel and head back
All right.
to the tent.
While that was all happening, Ashvin, shortly after Greta exits to go do whatever she's gonna do, Ashvin wants to come outside and just kind of sit next to Rupert.
Okay. Hey, sit down near Rupert, dwarfing his, because he's only about 3'2". as you sit next to Rupert, currently finishing stringing up some fish.
Oh, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Did you get water?
What?
Water.
Water. Do
I
you
found
have
some.
You did.
And he makes his way over to, he's drug his barrel out into
Okay.
the alcove. And he, as he does, you can see that collected possibly, it's like a turtle shell. It's not fully clean. It's not fully clean, but there's a turtle shell. It's dried in the sun. It looks like it's made of some sort of ceramic, but it's not. It is absolutely a turtle shell that is dried in the sun as there is water floating inside of it.
Yes.
Did you have some?
No, I found this.
Do we drink it?
Sure.
Hand you the water.
Ashvin's going to take just the tiniest little sip from
You
the water.
Take a sip. It's fine.
Nice.
I'll save the rest.
Okay.
That's very thoughtful of you, Rupert. And
May I?
I set it down.
You said,
Thank you.
walking over, he washes his hands in the bowl.
Gotta get the fish off. Would you like
I
one?
thought it had some little taste in it. Yeah.
Salty.
Yeah. So that was not rainwater. That was not fresh rain. Like,
It once was.
okay.
It's half used.
Did you eat the rest of the honey cake?
Yes, thank you. It's nice to get it back.
I know why you saved it.
Oh, why?
Well, I've been to a type of ceremony like that before,
Right.
right?
Well, you all were gone. And then your stick fell.
It did. Thank you for getting it for me. I was
Yeah.
worried about that. Yeah.
I used it to catch the fish.
I know. You did so great.
Make a perception check.
8.
It doesn't take much to see. Looking to your left, you can see resting up against the rocks is the glaive once more, with a fishing pole attached.
It's very good, Rod.
It is. It's good for other things too.
Oh, like what?
Oh, you've seen,
Oh,
no,
well,
slashing and hacking and is the boomerang still on?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you just take good care of this. So you're doing very good work with it.
okay, thank you.
Rupert, thank you.
You're,
Looking, you can see Rupert looks slightly taken aback.
you're welcome.
Do you know why I'm thanking you?
Do you want money?
No.
He hands you a coin. He hands you a gold coin.
She takes it and says no, and then hands
Oh,
it
it's
back to
not
me.
mine. It's fine.
Oh, okay. And pockets it. Where did you find? You just found this, or?
Oh, no, I was given money.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, all right. It seems like you've lost someone before.
Oh, well, well,
I have to.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
Then he puts an arm up on your shoulder.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, as long as you don't drop my glaive and my boomerang
Right.
in water.
Okay.
So
yes.
be careful.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I scruffle his head and then I walk back
Thank you.
inside.
As you walk into the tent, he goes back and you see him very gingerly touching the glaive. He sets the line into the water. Right as you're returning, Ashvin, it's right around the same time that Greta's making her way back into the tent. 4 of you are back together once again.
Did you
How's
do your
this,
business?
I got it all out.
Okay.
Good.
Hey, so how you feeling?
Yeah, how am I feeling at sea?
I would
Haven't said
describe
anything.
it as a warm hug all over your body.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I gotta
Greta.
buy more of that stuff in the next town.
Yeah, you really should.
Now all I can make is cinnamon tea.
Are there drugs in that tea?
I think there was
What is in this?
Cinnamon. Yum yum.
Cinnamon.
I'm gonna go
I can't believe that's a cinnamon in
That's the
that.
shadiest thing in the world.
Greta, we need to talk about your shadiness.
You just drugged the
Don't
wizard.
run off now, look. We just want to know.
It's gonna
Look, Greta, we trust you, so you need to trust us. What was in the tea, Greta?
Hecate's eyes are like super dilated. He's just
I actually grab Greta gently and be like, "Come on, Greta. What was in the tea? It wasn't cinnamon, was it?"
Well,
It
no,
was
no,
some
no,
cinnamon.
it was cinnamon and
You can see drool forming around the edges of Hecate's mouth,
Yeah.
dripping down both sides,
He's drooling right now.
Yep.
actively salivating.
I got it.
You said cinnamon.
That was some cinnamon.
a little bit of lavender.
All right. I don't know if the lavender is doing that.
A little bit of this stuff from my hometown, Dallathan. Okay, listen. I tell everyone I'm from the city of Niles. That's where my parents got their construction company in Niles. But I am from another town, Dallathan. I grow herbs there. It's a herb. It's natural.
All right.
Is there tea left in the cup?
A little bit, yeah.
Ashvin drinks the rest.
She drank the rest.
Well,
It's delicious.
You're already
It kicks in
good.
quite quickly.
It's
You find your eyes begin to dilate, and the world begins to sing.
It's just a warm hug.
This is great.
It
This
is
is
good.
really good.
All right. Well, there goes our day on planning how to get out of here.
Oh, I'm still. I can plan. I can plan.
Take a nap, then they wake up. It only lasts like an hour. This one's not strong.
It was only less than an hour.
Yeah,
Oh, that's sad.
sorry.
He watches Ashvin's pupils dilate just poof,
Yeah, you're getting it.
Or-
You're getting
as drool begins to form. at
That is
the
a
edge of the
strong
mouth.
herb.
You're acting like you've had this before.
it. Oh, well, I just know the telltale signs. He was looking into his scimitars at his face. It's like,
Admiring yourself among
Yeah.
the blade.
God, these guys are lightweights. I have a cup does nothing to me.
Oh,
That's bad, probably, right? Ooh,
you know how to hold your herb then.
I guess so. But please, guys, don't tell nobody about this. You know, I'm already in a little bit of trouble here, so I was just trying to help you.
no, I appreciate it. This really helped.
Look, Greta,
What?
I got your back.
You do?
Yeah.
Thank you, because I've been telling everybody you guys are my bodyguards. And so, listen.
I thought we were Rupert's bodyguards, the four of us. We're a bodyguard on you too.
Yeah, well, it's like a code I have. So don't be offended if I call you that, because I know
I'm
that.
offended.
I mean, look at the freaking octopus. That flippin' thing.
Which I wasn't there for. I'm not a very good bodyguard.
I was her bodyguard.
I was pretty late to the
I
party.
tried. I did something. You know, we all gotta believe in ourselves. Oh yeah, you're out of your wits. Sorry. Anywho.
You love octopus right now.
I do.
You wish you had a pet octopus right now.
Oh, the little suckers that go on you, and then it feels so nice. And then even when they give you the little nibble, is
As Ashvin's
Oh,
making that
God.
gesture sort of towards their arm, you can see the sort of faint outline of where the octopus are trying to eat them yesterday.
All right, I'm gonna go collect some seashells and figure out how to get out of here.
And I leave the tent.
All right.
All right. Guess somebody has to watch over you too.
So as you exit the tent, this is where it goes to the party. Is that, by all accounts, how would you like to get off the island?
That is a good question.
I'm just picking up seashells.
There's not that many.
There's two.
Ooh.
And kind of contemplating what we could do. And I'll come back in the tent.
Hey,
The tea is still very much in effect.
okay. So we haven't taken a nap or anything.
maybe we could talk to the birds again, and they could be the ones that take us to real land.
Oh yes, I could go talk to the birds.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, those birds are big.
All right, so should we go talk to them?
I mean, in this state, I don't know if this shit's going to be any good.
I'm fine.
Oh, you two say that, but you're going to end up saying something that we regret.
Do you? Oh.
What?
Am I the only one that sees that these two are cracking out of their heads?
What happens is they start to laugh and then it starts to fade off.
How long? How long is this
Like
going
I
to last?
said, an hour. It's
An
been
hour?
I
How
don't
long
know
is
how
it?
long.
How long has it been?
10 minutes.
It's been 10 minutes.
Gosh.
You just said an hour.
Okay, fine.
Look, I'm going to take a walk
Okay.
around the island
Okay.
to the best of my ability to see what possibly there's something we can make a raft or something to get off here.
All right.
If the birds don't decide to help us.
Okay, why don't we all go? It's gonna do you better than
Oh,
me.
yeah,
let's get some air.
Let's
Okay.
go.
All of
That
us.
might be good. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So as the four of you emerge from the tent, two of you essentially leading the other two.
Oh, it's so bright. Oh, it's so bright.
As your eyes refuse to shudder against the bright sunlight. It's tough navigating because there's a wobbliness to Hecate and Ashvin as you're attempting to keep them on the rock face as they're
So
entranced.
small like that.
As you're-
I'm smaller than you.
And you know what I got from high?
I'm just kind of, Ashvin is holding on to Iwin's shoulders and just kind of going, wee.
There's a whole lot of muscle behind you right now,
Yeah.
driving you. But as you make your way around the island,
No.
it takes you half an hour. The two of you are still very much like under the effect, but just half an hour to go all the way around the outside.
There's nothing.
The only thing you
particular
notice
sense.
are these openings. Some of them are smaller than others. Some of them are the size of, an apple. You can see these small air holes that would be, by your understanding, the normal reactions of a volcano.
Yeah.
But you do see some that are much larger. And they're all above the water line. There likely are some below the water line, but you'd have to go diving for them to see them.
When you say much larger, you mean something a 2-foot.
Something even Ashvin could get into. There are a few that are even that big. But you can see openings that, on all fours, Ashvin and Hecate could both fit into.
And do we pass the bird nests on the way?
The birds are all the way at the top of the island. You'd have to climb back up.
Okay.
Well, what do you think? It looks like the birds are the only way off. Unless we build a boat or something.
You can go into the holes here.
That's what I was going to
See
say.
what-
I got
see
a
what leads
lantern that we
down.
could use.
Yeah. We want to go inside the volcano. Do you know what's inside the volcano?
No, but I can ask.
Lava. Hello.
Did you
Yes,
say
yes.
you can ask?
Yeah, who are you gonna ask?
Yes, spirits.
Ask them.
Oh,
Ask them if there's any.
by all means, ask them.
Am I too under the effects of this tea to be able to cast a spell?
I would welcome you to try.
It's been 40 minutes.
Do it.
So I'm really curious to see what will happen if a wizard under the effects of this casts a spell.
Oh god.
Go for it.
Okay. Well,
That is not meant to be a discouragement.
Oh, yes.
That is an encouragement.
Oh, I'm excited to see what happens.
Go ahead, ask the spirits what's inside to see if there's anything of interest.
Yeah. No, here.
Who are they?
Whoever might be nearby.
Oh,
The
spirit.
ships. He kind of points to the direction that the
Sorry.
ships were.
The spirits were from the ships we came from.
They might have some insight. Could be nearby.
All right.
Yeah. As he will set down, kind of rummage around his bag, look a little confused for a second, then go back into it and kind of. He looks like he's still a little bit under the effect of this, or very much so. And he will take out what appears to be these bones that are very intricately painted and like engraved. There are like bits of ash that have been kind of covered with this bizarre wax and kind of painted over with pigments. Some of which are much longer, some of which are much smaller. As he kind of takes out this mat that he has and kind of lays it out on the rocks, kind of sits down in front of it, and will ritually try to cast augury.
I kind of whisper to Iwin.
Do you think those were human bones?
Only one of them.
It could be human.
I didn't mean you to hear that.
Well, there's your answer.
Oh, only one?
Only one of them. Yeah.
Which one from which part of a body?
I don't know.
All right, do your thing.
Yeah. What you all saw is, as he kind of, because it takes about 10 or so minutes to cast it, he kind of laid it out, and a few moments later, but after kind of muttering this incantation, seems like he was still able to mutter it, even given the circumstances, and he kind of leans back a little bit as if he's kind of staring into space, as if he's not even... The lights are on, but nobody's home. As his eyes kind of glow this weird bluish green, and this kind of mist swirls around him for a little bit as he is there, but it feels like there's someone missing, as he's might have crossed over to the other side very briefly.
As you roll the bones out on the mat, normally the effect is one that you would find to be graceful, respectful, inspiring in a certain sense. This is a slightly more emotional reaction.
Yeah.
Where you find the sky darkens around you slightly, your friends glimmer like specks of light before winking out, and you find yourself in the audience of a single deteriorated skeletal figure. You can see sand-blasted plating, which would give you the immediate indication that you're sitting in front of a Virm.
Oh.
But the Virm itself is also seated. And the skull is half wasted away, burnt. It looks like it's been torn through with bits of particle and dust. And there's this suspension of a cloud around it as it's also seated in front of you. What is the omen that you're seeking?
Yeah, so he is going to ask, he is going to describe the course of action of going into the volcano and see what this spirit might be able to tell him.
As you describe the action of going in, you watch as the figure shifts in position, the head tilting slightly, almost like a marionette on strings. Before the head tilts back, and then you just hear it speak. Whoa. And wheel. And you find yourself back.
You had a little daze there for a moment. What did you see?
Yeah, as you kind of... Both good and bad.
Good and bad.
Good and bad.
Tell us the bad first.
I don't know.
You don't
just
know?
that it's both good and it's bad.
So you found someone?
Yeah. The verm.
But the good news is, there is good.
You're very sober now. She is not.
Oh. Yeah. So immediately like... Yeah, there's both good news and bad news down there. I don't know the specifics.
Oh, you seem like yourself again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a sobering experience.
As you go to stand, you find that a fine layer of dust falls out of your hands. It's like ash. It leaves a dark stain upon your skin.
Here's the thing, I was right to say to you. We got a good and a bad inside this volcano.
Yeah.
Or we go and we have to go pick up more sticks for these birds in the hopes of maybe they'll take us.
That is their currency, yes.
Right. But then last time, you guys got in a tussle with an octopus, I believe, is what you told me.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to do that, rather than figure out science, go into the volcano
What
and
do you
see what we
mean?
have.
That octopus and I were cool, man. What
No.
You're cool right now, you're high enough off your gourd.
You were not cool. You would have died.
I wasn't there, I had to scare you.
I was there. It was scary seeing your strongest friend you've ever met in your life being crushed and sucked. Anyway, this tea is going to wear off in a
If
second.
anything, think of Greta.
Oh, and she gives Greta
it's
like
beginning-
a big hug.
It's coming off now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you're right. That octopus was awful.
It was terrible. Listen, what are we going to find inside this volcano? Nothing but bad, but I guess you said
There's
also
also
good.
good.
Aw, man. I try with my boboka.
You tried, and then what?
No message sends from this island.
Why?
I don't know. I think I'm out of service.
Would I know what a Vaboka is?
Yeah, all of you would know what a Vaboka
Okay.
is. You would maybe like it's an expensive item, so unless you can make one, they're very expensive. So, but you would be familiar with them, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty rare, like, for that to be out of service. And maybe what's inside that volcano
Remarkable.
is
Remarkable
It's
to be out of
remarkable.
service.
Would I know what could interfere with this? In a way?
Make an Arcana check.
Yeah, the wizard.
Yeah, and
First Arcana check.
Well, I want to pull them both out so he can inspect them
Okay. Since you're inspecting them, make it with advantage. Actually,
because I'm holding them both.
yeah.
I'll take the 11. It was an 11 or a 2, but overall, that's going to be an 18.
18. Holding the two in your hand, there's a vast difference in quality between them. One is a rough, hard-baked clay.
Come on. I made
And-
that one. I think it's pretty good.
You're not hearing me. This is in his head. And
What? I'm not judging.
as one of them is definitively nicer than the other, as you are turning them over in your hand, looking for any signs of damage, looking for any signs of interference, possibly any scratches that would have messed with the grammary on them. As it is, no, they're both, as far as you're aware, in working condition. And when it comes to the idea of a Vaboka not sending, you are fundamentally aware of magic that could interfere with one. It is a reality that could exist. It's beyond you. But it's a magic that theoretically, if you can send a message, you can unsend a message. It doesn't sound crazy, but remarkable.
That's incredible. I mean, I didn't think that you could. Well, I mean, I suppose if you could send a message, you could intercept it, but I didn't.
Oh. Yeah, I've never seen it do this before. Neither of them sent. Is it? Why is the interference?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's the part that's beyond me.
Yeah. Oh man, you're all looking at me
What
like we
happened to
gotta
your
go
me-
inside.
What happened to your messages when you tried to send them?
Okay, so I put in a message. I did the thing. And normally it just goes poof, bye-bye. But this, it went spark, zippy zippy zoo, poof.
Zippy zippy zoo.
Yeah, like the
well.
message went inside the volcano twice. Oh golly gee, we gotta go in there.
Yeah, it doesn't seem
Sounds
like a
like whatever's
coincidence to
stopping
me.
it.
Oh,
I mean, it
Yeah.
could be, but
well, let's do it.
Greta pulls up her belt.
All right.
We need to let Rupert know where we're
we're
going.
gonna
We
tell
can't
him
do
the
that.
time.
We
We're
can't
gonna
leave
tell
him
him.
again.
Yeah,
Alright.
good idea, good idea. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, good, yeah. No hangover from this medicine. Good.
I just noticed that.
I love it.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep that on the down low. Let's go tell him we're going in.
As the four of you make your way over, Rupert's still fishing with the glaive. Turns around.
This is, are we in danger? This is action.
No.
This is action.
No,
Shit.
No.
Greta's britches are up high.
What? My pants?
You said you pulled your belt up high.
Yeah, what does that mean?
You said, I'm going to pull my belt up high.
Yeah, no, like I'm pulling my pants up.
Yeah.
What does that mean to Rupert?
Like your belt is up like high on your waist.
Your britches.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pulled up your
He
britches.
notices.
Oh my god.
He's like, yo.
Something's up.
Hey, Rupert.
He's seen a scruffle
I want to
before.
take his hand.
Hey, Rupert.
Yes.
We're gonna
It's oily.
go.
I keep holding it.
We're gonna go inside. Woo, you stink! And I let go.
He's getting...
Well,
We're gonna go. I got a good sense of smell. We're gonna go inside there on the little.
apparently.
Are you gonna leave your tent here for him?
I mean, that's what I cast spells with.
Oh, never mind.
How
Okay.
many fish are there now?
40?
40. Okay. I'm going to put my hand on the glaive and just say, "You've done such a good job. I think we're good. I
Okay.
think we have enough. We're going to go off for a second.
Right.
We will come back.
Okay.
Unless you want to come with us.
No. Absolutely not.
Okay. Do we think this is going to be a in and then out sort of?
Yes,
No clue.
absolutely.
Oh,
Quick, you'll be gone. Minutes. And then I'll be fine.
yes.
Yes.
Rupert.
Do you have anything that we can knock him out and carry with us? I'm just really worried about him if we don't
It's a
come
good
back.
plan. It's in and out.
I want to find the cup that had the thing. Are there any drops left in it?
It's dry. No.
Oh man.
I mean, you're next to the shoreline with the cup of the tea.
The cup of
I
the
thought you meant the
tea?
turtle
Oh,
shell.
the cup of
Oh no,
the
she
tea.
finished it. She
Oh
finished
man.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Not even a drop.
Ashvin killed
I
it.
mean, it's yeah.
Wow.
I don't got any more, man.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I can do laundry.
Oh, good.
Oh,
So just get, it's quick. It's 15 minutes. I'll be fine.
Okay.
Rupert.
Rupert, you gotta calm down.
I'm very calm.
You're not.
You're stressing out.
Me?
You.
He hands you a fish.
I ain't thank you.
Is it cooked?
No.
Oh, okay. Put it down. Rupert, we're gonna go. We'll be back soon.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to take this with me. Is that all right?
You pull it, so you have to pry it out of his hand slightly.
Right. Take it.
It suits you, though.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Rupert.
Okay.
Can I give you a task while we're gone?
Sure.
I know you've set out some graves for us in the thought thinking that we had died, but we're alive now.
Yes.
I'd like you, while we're gone, just so it's not a bad omen of any, I'd like you to disassemble our graves, because we're alive now, all right?
All four? Just yours?
All four. No, all four.
All four.
Because in the hopes, and what we plan on is coming back for you.
Right.
So take that. Just take your time, one rock at a time.
One rock
at a
at a
time,
time.
and take it
One
all
rock
down.
at a time. Okay. Okay.
And he makes his way over to begin
Great
rapidly disassembling the graves.
Great idea.
We didn't tell him what we were doing.
No, we don't need to.
I think that would freak him out a little more.
We don't gotta tell
Right.
him.
You only need to tell him a little
Hey,
bit.
hey, everyone.
As we start to walk back to where we know we'd be able to go.
Yeah.
I want to pull out the rod that Ashvin
Oh,
recovered
yes.
from under the ocean and pull it out to see what it is.
Oh, yeah.
I pull it all the way out, like out of the fathom satchel.
You immediately recognize it, by the way, as it does. It's
Ooh,
it's
Is that
It's
what we pulled out from?
yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, you still have the carpenter's tools.
Yeah.
Greta can take them if you don't want to carry them away.
I can put them in my fathom satchel.
All right, I'll give those to you.
Okay.
If you need them, just yell out, "Carpenter's tools!" And we
All right,
pull them out.
carpenter's tools. Okay. That wasn't me yelling.
Oh, okay.
No, that wasn't me yelling.
You don't want him
Just
yet?
giving a
Good
practice.
rehearsal.
Got it. Good rehearsal. You're in.
The long parcel that's capped in copper. The moment you see it, you know exactly what it is. It's navigational tools,
All right.
and it's used on deep sea voyages in order to properly chart position with the stars. And the long tube is actually a telescope. As you pull out a long hand glass, as you unfurl it, you see that there's a slight wobble in it, where you had gripped it very hard, but it's still functional. It has a bit of character now. But as you are looking at it, it's been properly sealed within this case for however long that vessel's been down.
Whoa.
So with it, you can use it to, there's a sextant inside, there's an astrolabe. You have the ability to actually, if you were to need to, develop some kind of idea, at least of where you are in position of the stars. With that, because you don't have a chart with you don't have an actual navigational chart, you're talking about winging it. There's a slight advantage that you're going to have with this, just because of your background.
Right.
But you have a fully functioning navigational kit.
Wow, this is rad. This
You can add
is
that
so
to your
cool.
inventory.
Great, it's in. Got one more rod I want to pull out with a button on the end.
Right.
Let's see what this does. Should I touch it?
Can I push the button?
Yes.
I'm going to step away for a second. I'm going to step back 30 feet.
I'm like holding it up as
Or, well,
high.
I'm gonna step back
holding
as
it
far
up
as
as
I
high
can.
as I can, up toward Ashvin.
Don't point it at anyone.
Okay.
Okay.
As you click the button, nothing happens.
Oh.
But as you go to move your
I
hand,
thought it was.
I let go.
it's fixed in place.
Oh, that's interesting.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm gonna grab onto it and lift my feet off the ground.
As you grab hold of it and pull yourself up, it doesn't move a iota.
I start doing pull-ups.
Look at me! Whoa, I'm not
You get about 4 in.
I don't know what I'm more
In the middle of her
impressed.
push-ups, I click the button again.
as you're on the third one, as the button clicks, you just collapse. to the
Sorry
ground.
about that, Greta.
I take the rod and I jump.
I just wanted to test to make sure I could turn on.
You're okay. I pick her
I
up
wanna
by the
talk to
shoulders and I dust her off.
Yeah, set her back on the feet.
I don't know what I was more impressed by. The fact that you did 4 pull-ups or the fact that this rod just stays in the air.
Yeah, it's
that's-
really cool.
That's incredible.
Except when your friends play practical jokes. Hey,
You're now in possession of an immovable rod.
hey,
You gotta laugh about yourself a little bit more together.
this is gonna come in handy. I don't know how, but I'm hoping it is.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Ashvin under her breath. That was pretty funny, yeah.
I thought so.
If you keep everything you
Glad you
find,
did you
eventually
awesome.
something's going to be useful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good perspective. She doesn't know how to say the word perspective.
Prospective.
Really good perspective. Hey, that's quick say perspective.
So, with that, as the 4 of you have made your way in this conversation to the back edge of the island, where 15, 20 feet up, you can see a cavity which is large enough to crawl into. What's the order you would like to go in?
Since I've been pushing this idea, I'll go first.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use the torch I have on me to. As soon as I get in there and I know it's too dark to see, I'll turn.
Oh, it's very quickly too dark
Yeah,
to see.
I'm
I
just
pulled-
gonna
I-
because I know
I'll
it only
go
has
second.
an hour, so it's.
I'll go second because I got my dark vision goggles.
As you're shuffling along inside the passage, so it's Iwin first, then Greta, then
I'll be at the back. Wait.
all right,
Yeah.
then Ashvin, then Hecate. As you as you crawl up into the back of it, very quickly the sound of the ocean vanishes as you find yourself in a cold cave on an island in the middle of the ocean. And crawling forward, you find it at first, for the first 30 feet that you crawl along, going around bends and turns, you're going up.
Oh.
And as you have the torch extended in front of you with the pitch occasionally flickering down, there's no plant life, there's no insects, there's nothing but volcanic rock. The floor itself is a fine dust, and you get it's seriously cold as you're crawling into this passage. There's no sense of heat. And you very quickly begin to forget the fact that you're crawling into what once was a volcano, since there's no indication of any heat whatsoever. But the torch does save you. As you reach an apex and begin to crawl forward, before looking down and seeing darkness descending below into an opening in the passage that, instead of going straight, goes straight down. And as you're looking over it, you feel a tug at the back as Greta has grabbed hold of your collar.
Hey,
Take care, Greta.
hey,
What happened?
how far down is it? Jump, everyone.
I mean, the torch, it's stopping. I can't see the bottom.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna pull out a rock and magical.
I hit a light.
Oh, I have. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
No, I wanted
you
to
just-
throw the
just-
rock all the way
That's a
down.
great idea.
Yeah, and I'm gonna imbue it with the light, and just throw the rock all the way down. And we'll
As you
look
drop the
over.
rock, it drops 50 feet before clattering onto a surface below.
So we can see it though, the light as it goes all
50
the way
feet down.
It's just all volcanic rock.
There's a chamber below.
And is there across anything?
is it
Would we
like-
have? Is it jumpable?
As you look, it's too tight to jump, but looking on the other side, as you would go to cross, it quickly drops downhill as well. So the passage has gone up,
And
and then it drops straight down. Across the gap, it goes
you have that
downhill.
grappling hook.
So, but it's enough for us to go. across.
It would be very tough for Ashvin to cross the span.
But we could go down.
Yeah, it would be a squeeze. You could attempt to make it to the other side of the ramp, but it's maybe 6 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have to leap from a crouched position.
Ooh.
But if we go down?
Can Hecate or I see anything that
No.
they're looking at? Okay.
You can just hear the two of them speaking at the front of the
What's
pass.
going on?
At the front.
What's
It's a
happening?
50-foot drop down up here.
No, that's fine.
What do you mean that's fine?
We can hop down.
You're
Yep.
so calm about this.
Well, I'm tiny and I
Spell
can't squeeze you through.
just a reminder, you all have rope.
I don't.
you like half of you have rope in
Yeah.
your packs.
Okay.
I guess it's
Also
time.
have feather fall.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna rope it down. Well, then I'm just gonna do that.
All right.
Wait.
Are we all...
Rope. You have. I found this hook. I'm just gonna take out the grappling hook, because you're right in front of me, right? So just kind of.
I'm too...
Oh no, you're
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
So on Greta's shoulder, I just kind of tap with the. Remember, we found this.
Oh, yeah, it was hazy, but I remember. Use this hook.
All right.
Tying it off with the rope, and you get it into a really good fixed position in a crack between several of the rocks, and it holds.
All right. I'm going down.
Okay.
The rest of you going as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as the four of you zipping down the line, using your feet and your backs pushed up against the cavity as you lower yourself into the lava tube. As you make your way down into the chamber, it gets very dark, but begins to lighten up as the stone's closer. Until you find yourself, your feet kicking free and your back kind of swinging, as you find yourself descending into the front part of a larger chamber, which at what must be the center of this island. And expecting more cave and cavern walls, instead, you see a number of metal constructions built into the interior of a large space. It's at least 80 feet across, maybe 100 feet wide, and has a very high conical ceiling leading up to a number of metal doors that appear to be wedged up against the center of the chamber. There's a large scaffolding that wraps around the interior, and a number of chains that are hanging from numerous apparati. You don't know what they do, but there's large gears that are essentially connected to pulleys and counterweights. Strangest of all, in the very center of the chamber is a completely demolished copper dome, which is now resting on its side. The tower it was attached to, which must have been high, nearly the height of the ceiling, whenever it was constructed, strewn about as if it was knocked over by a titan, as it looks like it's buckled in the middle, the rocks broken up in various places. You would recognize this instantly as a confinement of the wilds. It looks like it has seen much better days.
Confinement of the wilds. Remind me.
Confinement of wilds are cleric confinements, observatories that are typically in natural places.
Right, it's where we go to do our...
And for those clerics and curates who are associated with the domains that are associated with wilds, then it's a place that would be, in a lot of ways, their apex location. It's usually they're in known locations. Sometimes they're hidden. This would be hidden to an extreme.
Right. Does this make me concerned or just... Do you know what I mean? Like,
There's a thing you could do.
recall? Great. I'm going to go over to that big copper thing that got...
It's a long way away from you, so you'd have to cross the whole room to get to
Yeah,
it.
I'm going to cross over to it.
So
And sort of do it without saying anything. Just do it.
We're all on the ground now.
you're on the ground now, yeah.
And put my hand on it and
Light my
recall.
torch.
And do my... Try to get my recall to work on this giant copper.
Do it.
So as you watch as Iwin, sitting down, begins to contemplate, looking at the copper dome, hand on it.
Right. I know where we are.
That fast? Oh, right.
This is a confinement of the wild. Those who study the elements of nature. Or, now look, they use this space to sort of to study the elements, or they break it. They use it. They bend nature to whatever design they wish. But it seems like, here's the thing, is they need to focus. Usually they need a glass thought. What is a glass thought?
A glass thought is the central piece of every confinement, and it's what clerics use to focus.
That's what this would be.
There's always one in a confinement.
Right.
And they're what they use to focus on their astral study. But it's also something they can derive power from. They're very, very valuable.
They usually have a glass, what's called a glass thought. It's how they focus their power astrally, and they can... This seems to be it, but it's been broken.
Yeah, it's all on its
That
side.
might be, I don't know, but it might be part of why you can't get your messages out of here, is because this has been tampered with.
Oh,
I don't know for sure. I don't know who have done this.
It looks like something big been through here.
Right. But there was no, I don't know what could have gotten in here. And also this seems to be pretty hidden away. So I don't know what would have found it to do the damage.
Yeah.
Remember, we still got something bad down here, so keep an eye out.
Yeah, I hope we don't find whatever did this.
But it was just the messages, right? It's
Yes.
just the message that you, because you're still able to talk to your spirits,
Yeah.
but why would it just be that?
Yeah.
As you begin to shift your weight around, Hecate, you hear a crunch underfoot.
Uh-oh.
And then looking down with your torch, or no, what are you using for light, by the
His
way?
torch.
The torch. You took the tent. Looking down at your feet, you can see skeletal remains of two figures, both with the plated bony remains, both Virm, and a very familiar skull looking back at you.
Oh.
The bones burned, sandblasted, looking like they're seconds from falling to pieces.
This one. This is the one that I talked to. This one right here.
And that's what we're in for the evening.
Oh.
What? So graves.
Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you are interested in supporting the channel, go to patreon.com/BrooklynQuarter. And a huge thank you to all of our patrons who helped make this possible. And we will see you on the next episode of Novel Chronicles.